company. In an attempt to drive them away from the land with the help of the police, they got infuriated. He however noted that some might have been injured in the process, hence their anger and retaliation. Quote, "We usually do our patrols to protect our concession, which is required of us by law to be responsible for our boundaries and also prevent incursions to make sure that community people, hunters and farms are safe. On one such occasion, which was Thursday, March 16th, we encountered some illegal miners encroaching. We engaged them as part of our modus operandi and told them to move away." Mr. Bwache further said, quote, "They were interested in that area, so they came back, and when they came back, we tried to ward them off with the help of the police. They dispersed again, and apparently unconfirmed reports reaching us is that they may have been injured in the course of being dispersed." That sounds like a very...
It's a serious story.
Yes, if you
I think that the way it's written doesn't capture how serious it was.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
In broad daylight, people enter a company that's working normally and begin chasing people with cutlasses and things, burn vehicles. It's basically like they've stormed
the police.
An official business. Now, the other story which is mind related, which I thought we should bring, is the president is ordering a probe.
This is in the Ghanaian Times, page 3. Now, the president has directed the police to investigate allegations of the involvement of some government officials in illegal mining activities. This follows a recent interview granted by Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, former Minister of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovations with the GBC, over the allegations. Sources at the police headquarters confirmed the president's directive to the police to Ghanaian Times in Accra yesterday. Information gathered revealed that the president gave the directive last week, and the Special Investigations Unit of the CID of the Ghana Police Service has commenced investigations into the matter.
So we'll keep an eye on that story.
Well, the Herald has a different take on that story. They are simply, they have an editorial that says that Dr. Frimpong Boateng should name names himself.
He should sort of go beyond what he said.
Yes. Now let me take you to ECG matters on page 38 of the Daily Graphic. The company is embarking on nationwide revenue mobilization exercise from today to recover all unpaid bills amounting to 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. The exercise, which will last for a month, targets domestic users, business ministries, departments, state agencies for power already consumed from 2022 to February this year.
Well, the energy ministry is saying that ECG has disconnected them. They run on prepaid meters. So there was a story that was saying that as part of what you just read, the ECG had disconnected their mother ministry. But the Ministry of Energy says it has noted reports that it suffered a disconnection exercise from its agency, the ECG, over alleged unpaid electricity bills on Tuesday. Now, the ministry described the report as wrong, saying that its facility runs on prepaid meters. Now, communication specialist at the ministry, Kofi Abrefafina, said at no point has the ministry been disconnected from the grid, and that they use prepaid meters, which is good. I think all government agencies should use prepaid meters so ECG doesn't lose revenue. Now, according to MD of the ECG, Mr. Samuel Mahama Esquire, the company is owed over 5 billion cedis from the month of September 2022 to February 2023. That's just 6 months. Most of this debt resides with SOEs and MDAs. As we say in Ghana, ECG, Yafe, go and collect the money. Let's continue, Nathan.
Talking about money, the minority is talking about the country's IMF arrangements. Now, the minority leader, Dr. Kasia Lato Banforcing, has projected that Ghana will not be able to present its program to the IMF board by end of March, as claimed by the president. He said conditions that Ghana must ensure to secure the IMF deal were yet to be met. Now, on the 8th of March, when the president presented the State of the Nation address, he expressed optimism that Ghana would present to the IMF board its $3 billion bailout program, having secured a staff-level agreement late last year. But Dr. Ato Forcing, in winding up the minorities' debate on the State of the Nation's address, was of the view that, quote, Ghana will not be able to get the IMF board approval by the end of this month because even the board documents have not been prepared.
Still on the economy, the IEA's Dr. John Kwachi says that Ghana's current debt is disheartening and frustrating to businesses and individuals. As a result, the Institute has advised government to take action to swiftly conclude the debt restructuring process to secure the $3 billion loan support from the IMF. Now, he says it's disheartening to some of us that our debt even got to this level in the first place. And it's so frustrating that it will take a further 5 years before we can bring it down to the current levels of our peers. Dr. John Kwachi, who is the director of research at IEA, he says, we risk the usual post-IMF program fiscal relapse, especially at 2024, is just around the corner. And given our history of election-driven fiscal profligacy and its destabilizing consequences, I'm not very optimistic. Now, he was speaking during a reflection on the State of the Nation address, which was delivered by the president last week. So that was Dr. Kwachi.
Yeah, staying with the State of the Nation and the economy, The NDC says they are going to tell us the true state of the nation today. That story is covered by a couple of papers I'm reading from the new publisher. The NDC has said President Akufo-Addo did not give an honest account of the current situation in Ghana during the State of the Nation address he gave to Parliament in March 8th. Therefore, the party will this afternoon hold a program to tell what are described as the true state of the nation, happening at 2 o'clock at the UPSA, to be addressed by Chairman of the NDC.
Two NDC stories. Mahama is jabbing Educhum, but Herald also has a story about the NDC's silence on the ACA issue. Let me just give you the highlights of the first one, then Godfrey will give me the next one. So, former President John Mahama has chastised the Education Minister for threatening to close down non-performing schools. Now, we know that the Education Minister last week warned that he would shut down schools that did not improve their educational outcomes. But the former president who was touring Ano South District and Ano Southeast constituency of the Ashanti region indicated that it's the responsibility of the ministry to improve the conditions and performance of schools rather than close them down. And then basically that's what he said. We played it in the news this morning.
Well, the Herald also has a story on page 5 of the paper that says that many continue to be surprised at the apparent silence of the minority NDC on the decision by AGM, a sister company of Norway-based Seka Energy, to pull out of the $1.6 billion transaction with the GNPC. According to the story, there's a feeling that the opposition party, which is working desperately to be elected into office, has ceded this role of demanding accountability, especially in the energy sector, to CSOs, particularly Imani and ASEP.
Don't forget, there's a couple of stories about the gold for oil deal on the front page of the BNFT. And I need to commend the CSOs because a lot of them have been raising red flags on many things in the energy sector, and they've been proven to be true. Now, Bemboache is saying that...
Yes, says the stable city, cheaper crude reasons for falling pump prices, and his former boss also has a different take. I think
that's just interesting.
Well, Lily Pearl Baba Otu writes that the executive director of the Africa Center for Energy Policy, Benjamin Boache, reiterated that falling fuel prices at the pump is the result of a general reduction on the global crude oil market, and the stable CD are not the goal for oil barter policy. He said domestic consumers, just like others in net importing countries, are experiencing fuel price reductions, as the government's claim that the goal for oil policy has brought about the fall in fuel prices is not accurate. Quote, if you are analyzing the industry and know the pricing and know how the pricing mechanics work, you will know that this has nothing to do with gold.
Well, his former boss, who's now a minister nominee for finance, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, is insisting that the current reduction in fuel prices at the pumps is directly due to the impact of the growth for oil policy. Providing further details on the policy, the MP for Karaga said the policy intervention has contributed to the strengthening of the cedi against the dollar, causing a reduction of fuel prices at the pumps. His comments, of course, come at the back of what you just read. Now, ASEP is saying, now, let me just give you another thing he said. He was telling Umaru Sandamadu on Thursday that it cannot be true that because crude oil prices are falling, this is why domestic prices are falling. The domestic prices are falling because of the intervention we have made, which has helped the exchange rate side. And the impact of the exchange rate is what we are seeing in the fall of domestic petroleum prices. Now, the other point, which I think is more substantive, is that he's saying over 100,000 tons of oil coming by March ending. So that one we should keep an eye on. Now, this is the same interview. He says that Ghana will receive over 100,000 metric tons of fuel between March 21 and 30. That's from tomorrow. According to the government, the Go for Oil policy is intended to help relieve pressure on the city and bring in cheaper fuel.
Okay, talking about that, if you go to page 5 of the Finder, they also have a story on one of Ghana's natural resources, cocoa. Now, Ghana's Cocoa Board, Ghana Cocoa Board's anti-smuggling task force, in collaboration with the security agencies, has within 2 weeks retrieved over 1,500 bags of cocoa en route to be smuggled to neighboring countries.
Oh, Lord.
According to the Director of Special Services at Cocoa Board, Mr. Charles Amenyaglo, the win secured against smugglers between the first 2 weeks of March was through a system instituted by Cocoa Board, which comes with incentives for collaborators. He disclosed that the beans originated from the Western North and Volta regions, while arrests were made in the Greater Accra, Volta, and Western North regions during transit of the beans.
But this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Are you serious?
No, I'm telling you. They should not see this as a victory.
So there's a lot more happening.
There's a lot more.
Look, I spent the past week talking to a lot of people in that space who are very worried because a lot of the middle buyers in there are selling to Ivorian buyers because basically they are. I think we are going at 800 in Ghana. They are doing like 1,000. in Cote d'Ivoire. So that 200 cedis on top there is...
Let's go to KJTM market. Go ahead. I'll give you some time to comment on this if that story develops. KJTM market traders are vehemently rejecting extended closure of the facility. Traders at the new KJTM market have said they would defy the directive for the facility to be closed down for 1 more week. According to the leadership of the traders, together with transport operators, they will go to the facility and engage in their usual activities despite the board's directive. Now, this comes out of the board of the facility directed that the market be closed down for 1 more week following Wednesday's fire incident. The traders have described the decision as insensitive and have called on the board and the management as a matter of urgency to reverse the decision. Now, we'll go to Kumasi this morning. I want to take you to Bolga.
Yes, I have that story.
Yeah.
Judge abandons post over threats on his life. That's on page 16
This is so sad.
of the Daily Graphic. The Judicial Service of Ghana has recalled the acting supervising judge of the Upper East Region, Justice Alexander Graham, due to threats on his life. Justice Graham, who served at Bolgatanga High Court 2 last month, issued a warrant for the arrest of the overlord of the Mampuku traditional area, Na Bohagu Mahami Abdullahi Sheriga, for enskinning a rival Bokunaba. Barely a week ago, he also convicted 2 high-profile persons for contempt for attempting to bribe him. Following those crucial decisions, Justice Graham is said to have received calls threatening his life and attacks at his official residence. He therefore left Bolgatanga last Wednesday to protect his life after notifying his employer about the insecurity.
Are we still committed to fighting corruption as a society? And what's the government doing? Because if a judge has had to flee a town because of 2 high-profile cases in which most neutrals think he's done a good job, we need a word from the Attorney General, right? The Interior Ministry must also, because then imagine the judges whose cases have not come to public limelight.
Hey, Charlie, this is serious. So the Daily Graphic gathered that a few weeks ago, there was sporadic shooting by unknown assailants around Justice Graham's residence.
Yes.
Wow.
And if you go
on Tuesday, March 13 this year, some persons besieged his residence and pelted it with stones.
In fact, some people called him, threatening to take his life if he does not get a favorable outcome from the case, which was pending in court. All kinds of things are happening. And here we are saying, corruption, anti-corruption Ghana, anti-corruption, something. Somebody is doing his work, and he's getting this kind of attack. We expect government to act. We expect civil society to also speak. Nathan, you want the goat story? I want to give me another something.
Give us the goat story.
So the story is not funny.
This story is the goat. You get it, the goat.
So an environmentalist is claiming that goats ate seedlings planted under Green Ghana project because they are not protected. This is a story on my journal line. The founder and coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, Awula Sewa, has decried how trees planted under Green Ghana project were nurtured. According to her, after the pomp and pageantry, the trees were left to the mercy of goats to munch. She said this development affected the objective of the Green Ghana initiative, which is part of an aggressive nationwide afforestation or reforestation program. Now, speaking in an interview with Joy News Probe on Sunday, Madam Sewa explained that a week after the trees were planted, there were reports that goats were munching on some of the trees because they hadn't been protected. She said, although 20 million trees seedlings may have been supplied, proper monitoring of the trees will tell us that they did not grow to maturity. She advised the government to abandon the decision to allow mining of bauxite in the Tiwa Forest Reserve. Basically, talking about a lot of environmental things. Yeah. She didn't give more details on the goats and which places they chewed the trees. It's just like a general statement she said in relation to what was reported.
No, but you see, Bernard, I've always raised issues with that. You see, because when you plant 7.7 million trees in a country, or 20 million seedlings of something in a country, Bernard, won't you see?
Well, there must be a report. You see, I get what you're saying, but you see, she's making an
I'm not talking about her. No, I'm
Why
not
don't
talking
we
about
do
her.
like a review? Like maybe Arocha will say they are doing some review of the tree planting exercise for the past.
But there has been a review. She's not the first person to say this. Okay. Last year, questions were raised about where we are not seeing the trees. Are they growing? Where are they?
Well, talking of where are they, Chamber of Construction Industry is accusing the road minister of stifling the growth of their sector. The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry is accusing the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amakwanta, of stifling the growth of the sector. According to the chamber, the ministry's lack of transparency in its operations, coupled with the decision to pay contractors based on favoritism rather than, basically, mother side, father side, rather than first come, first serve basis, is to blame. There was a story about the Kitasi Road. I thought you'd give me that quickly.
Yes, that is on the front page of the Crusading Guide. It's on page 3. Now, the story says there has been major improvements on the Dom Kitasi Road rehabilitation project being executed by First Sky Company Limited.
All right.
Checks conducted at the project established that about 35% of work had been executed, with workers running against time to complete work ahead of schedule.
You know what to do this morning.
So, House of Folk, what you are doing?
But we won 1-0.
Did you see the goal?
No, I heard about it.
Anyway, if you
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa!
Bobo, so how's your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you. Can't feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that?
Yes, so.
Somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz. And he switched.
Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation Movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
City Business News coming up next, brought to you by MTN. Carrying multiple SIMs is such a chore. You can go SIMless with MTN eSIM. Enjoy the convenience of connecting multiple phone numbers to one single phone or device. To check if your device is compatible, simply dial *#06# and you receive an EID number. It means your phone is compatible. Download my MTN app today to request your MTN eSIM and enjoy the sweet SIMless life everywhere you go. Michael Obodu is here with the news. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Girl and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, Treasury bill rates tipped to fall to about 10% soon. Also, Ghana Revenue Authority raises over 85 million Ghana cedis through 5 domestic revenue operations. To details of our stories now, the Treasury bill rates in the country is tipped to reduce to about 10% soon. The rate currently stands at about 17% after government consecutively rejected all the bids for the sale of Treasury bills from investors. This is after the rate at some point stood at about 35% last year in a desperate move by the government to raise revenue as it was cut off from the international market. Economist Professor Godfred Bobkin has been providing more perspective on this expected drop in the rate.
I think government has a little bit of space, right? And that's why they are flexing themselves in the market. Okay, it's also about government borrowing appetite. But what you should know is that our economy is highly financialized with government instrument dominating. So once the bond market hasn't been that active, there are very limited investment alternatives in the market as we speak. And therefore, you see that government has this incentive of dragging the rate down, and they will still be able to borrow from the market at that lower rate because there are very limited options. Our economy is very narrow in terms of financial instruments. Okay, so if you take financial instruments heavily issued by government, really, there are very limited options in the market.
You heard the economist Professor Godfred Bobkin. Now, the monitoring team of the Ghana Revenue Authority has mobilized over 85 million cedis in domestic revenue within the first 5 months of operations. The monies were mobilized by 4 teams put in place to undertake risk-based and intelligence-driven operations across the country between October 2022 and February 2023. The teams comprised the Tema, Eastern Frontier based at Dabala, Western Frontier based in Kumasi, and the Vehicle Task Force, which impounded some goods whose duty having been paid, among others. Addressing the media during a briefing, Commissioner of Customs at the GRA, Alhaji Seidu Idrisu Idisa, stressed that the recoveries will go a long way to boost revenue generation in the country.
Duties are not just collected by HAD, it's also used as an economic tool. But people are not allowed to pass the unapproved routes, but people use goods to pass there. Others pass the main routes, and they are able sometimes to dodge some of the enforcement measures we have. We have layers of enforcement. So one of the layers we established is monitoring teams that operate at certain strategic places. It has been very successful. In fact, if I tell you that since they were set up towards the end of last year, they helped in, apart from collecting a whole lot of revenue that would have leaked, their presence also makes sure that people know that even if you escape from the port, you will still be caught. So they have a deterrence role as well as a role that makes them collect money. So, a total short collection of about 85, but more than 85 million was collected between October and February by the activities of the tax one. That's the direct one they have collected. And apart from that, there have been arrests of goods which we have seized because they didn't meet the standard, the laws of the country. Some include weapons, some include, drugs that do not meet the standards that the country has given. But the direct revenue from that period alone is over 85 million that we collected from their activities.
Alhaji Seidu Idrisa is the Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Now, the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, COPEC, Duncan Amwa, is urging government to take advantage of the global drop in petroleum prices and stock up the country's fuel reserves. The price of petroleum products are falling on the international market to about $70 a barrel after it hit over $120 per barrel mid last year. This has led to drops in prices at the pumps, with the most recent being a 50% reduction at some fuel stations last week. In an interview with Citi Business News, Duncan Amwa stated that government must increase its fuel reserves to cushion consumers when prices go up again on the world market.
And so if we have anything to do as a country, one would expect that we stock up around these times when prices are declining, because that is what you set up us to do, to hold strategic stock, especially when prices are favorable like we have now, and ensure that they are able to stimulate or keep the market running and busy when the curve turns the other way around or prices begin to surge again. Unfortunately, we are not paying attention to the very things that need to be done. We are rather encouraging boats to trade under the Gold for Oil program by bringing in cargo to sell, with the thinking that that alone is a solution. I'm afraid a lot more would need to be done than what we seem to be doing. We need a specific focus that says that prices are dropping on the international market. Finished products that used to sell around 1,300, 1,200 are currently doing around 700, maximum 800. So prices are favorable. We can take advantage and stock up as opposed to focusing all attention on gold for oil, which is simply a trading experiment by bots.
Duncan Amwa is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana, COPEC. Now, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana has retweeted calls for government to rally funds for the construction of the Palugu Multipurpose Dam. The dam, which is estimated at about $993 million, would be the single largest investment ever made by the government in the northern part of the country, which will provide water for irrigation, generation of electricity, and control the annual flooding of communities in the Upper East and Northeast regions. In an interview with Citi Business News, the Executive Director of the association, Dr. Charles Nyaba, appealed to government to factor the project in its financial considerations.
One of the areas I would like to put more emphasis on is the fact that government has taken bold initiative in 2019 to construct very big dams. One of them is the Palugu Multipurpose Dam, where President cut short for construction. The reason for that dam was to ensure that it addresses overrange during the September and October, and then split of the Bagri Dam. And then during the drought period or during the off-season, those rains that is stored will be used for dry season farming. But since the salt was cut, no much work has been done. So my call is that if that dam is properly done, it will go a long way to address challenges that farmers are facing with climate change, which has to do with poor raining pattern. So I also encourage government that as part of the IMF negotiations, if any money comes, they can channel those resources into irrigation, including the Palugu Multipurpose Dam.
That was the Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyaba. Away from that, the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry is accusing the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwanta, of stifling the growth of the sector. According to the chamber, the minister's lack of transparency in its operations, coupled with the decision to pay contractors based on favoritism rather than a first-come, first-served basis are to blame for the slow growth. Contractors in Ghana have for years lamented government's non-payment for projects executed. Speaking to Citi Business News, the CEO of the chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, stressed that the posturing of the minister is further worsening the plight of the frustrated contractors.
Honorable Kwesi Amoakwata, representing the president at the Ministry of Roads and Highways, has not been fair. It's not transparent. His activities are shrouded in secrecy. Let's face the fact for once. It's not been fair to contractors, especially the road contractors. You always see him coming, ranting. At the end of the day, nothing happens. Causing the problem, causing mess in the system, causing chaos, promising what he cannot do. You know, as a minister responsible for road infrastructure, you're
That was the CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry, Emmanuel Cherry. Now, on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks stood amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 11 cedis 2 pesos. The British pound gained 1 peso and is selling at 13 cedis 4 pesos. The euro is selling at 11 cedis 7 pesos. It recorded no price change. Be guided that these figures will be higher at a forex bureau near you. Let's now join Mark Jordan Sikanate of DataBank for updates on the stock market.
The bears closed on a positive note last week, recording 7 movers and a weekly turnover of 7.3 million Ghana cedis from the exchange of 4.3 million shares. Unilever Ghana, MTN Ghana, and Benzo Palm Plantation were the top 3 gainers, while Societe Generale was the sole laggard. The gains propelled the GSE Composite Index to expand 9.41% week-on-week to 2,712.75 points, with a year-to-date return of 11%, while the DataBank Stock Index advanced 6.81% week-on-week to 107.13 points, with a year-to-date return of 1.72%. We expect the price of Total Energies to rise on strong demand this week, while we forecast Standard Chartered Bank and SIC PLC to decline due to outstanding offers below market price.
That was Mark Jordan Sikanate of DataBank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Lubudu. Thank you for listening. Have a good business day, and as always, please stay safe.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is.
I go.
Ago.
As well as competitive returns. With easy access to track your funds, we offer flexible deposit products for 91 days, 182 days, and 365 days. Open a fixed deposit account with us now. Call 057 770 7700. The Shell Savings and Loans, a trusted safe haven for your investments. And Shell has given us a way to go further and save money with the Shell Fuel Save. Its triple action formula improves engine efficiency, prevents deposit buildup, and protects your engine from wear and corrosion for extra clean, extra protection, and extra savings, giving you extra kilometers out of your drive. So switch to Shell Fuel Save today because extra kilometers go a long way. Benjamin Ketias here, ahead of a busy sports day for sports journalists all over the country. Ben, welcome.
Good morning, Bernard. Let's get into the headlines. And Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton to be unveiled in Kumasi today. Arsenal extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table to 8 points. And in the NBA, there were wins for the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Let's get to the details now. And new Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton will be unveiled today in Kumasi at 10 a.m. at the SG Mall in Ejija. Now, the 64-year-old who replaced Otoado has been in charge of the team since last month. Details of Hughton's contract and other relevant information will be revealed at the unveiling. Ghana will face Angola in a double-header AFCON qualifier on Wednesday, March 23, 2023 at the Baba Yara Stadium before heading to Luanda for the reverse fixture on March 27. Let's do some Ghana Premier League news now. And Samatex, they were up against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Now, they lost that game by 2-1. Asante Kotoko's head coach is Orlando Wellington. He believes there's still a lot of work to be done despite the win against Samatex.
Still, we have a lot of work to do because in the second half, they mount a lot of pressure on us because what I told them is to keep the ball in the half of the opponent, not our own half, because they committed a lot of fouls against us. Only that our opponent couldn't utilize the fouls that they got against us. I'm sure it will be a turning point if they see play according to instructions and they be tactically disciplined. It will be a turning point for the team. They deserve it because we have at least enough time to prepare the team. And from what I saw from the training ground, gave me the confidence that we are going to come out either win or draw.
You had assistant coach of Asante Kotoko, Orlando Wellington, speaking there. Meanwhile, Samatex coach Ano Walker says he was disappointed with the manner in which his side lost the game.
This is not a match we should have lost. We gave away 2 cheap goals to Kotoko, and I think this has cost me a lot, this on a match. So it's really a painful defeat to me. It's just unfortunate. I would say the 30 players that I have are all capable because they are all summer test players. So I wouldn't like to say I lost my top striker out of injury. But those are there must also be ready to play as well. But, well, all the same, it's unfortunate that it happened this way.
Ano Walker is head coach of Samatex, now Tamale City. They were 3-1 winners over Dreams FC. Bechem United also beat Karela by 3-1. Hearts of Folk were 1-0 winners over Kotoku Royals. Hearts assistant coach David Oklu was pleased with his side's late win over Royals.
I feel elated, yeah, I'm so excited. Yes, I told you it's going to be a difficult game because they are down. So they will come with a multiple effort, and that is what they did. But kudos to John. He has done a yeoman's job. Yeah, the boys played very well. But don't forget, we are the never say die lads. No, I'm not troubled because you can see that these days the strikers are moving well. even though they are not getting the goals during open play, but they are getting the set pieces, which is good.
David Oklo is assistant coach of Accra Heart of Oak. Mediama beat Great Olympics by 2-0 in Swatraman, also beating Accra Lions by 3-0. RTU and Brekum Chelsea ended goalless. Now today, there's Kimfezo versus Bibiani Gold Stars and Legon Cities versus Adriana Stars. Let's move on to some foreign stuff. And it's match week 28 in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest, they lost 2-1 to Newcastle. Aston Villa beat AFC Bournemouth by 3-0. Brentford played out a 1-1 draw with Leicester City, and Southampton held Tottenham to a 3-3 draw. Tottenham head coach Antonio Conte criticized his side after their collapse at Southampton, claiming his players lack responsibility.
We are 11 players that go into the pitch, and I see selfish players. I see players that don't want to help each other, don't put the heart. And first of today, I prefer to hide the situation and to try with to speak, to try to improve the spirit situation with the words, with a lot of situation, because about tactical or technical aspect, this one situation. The most important thing, if you want to become a strong team, if you want to become competitive, you want to fight to win, is the desire, the fire that you need to have in your eyes, in your heart, and you have to show this in every moment, Instead, if I have to compare last season, this season, I think that instead to improve, now we are worst under this aspect.
Antonio Conte's Tottenham Hotspur's head coach Wolves, they lost by 4-2 at home to Leeds United, and Chelsea were also held to a 2-2 draw by Everton. Now, Chelsea manager Graham Potter says he was disappointed with the draw against Everton.
Well, we're really disappointed because we dropped 2 points at home. We wanted to win. I think you saw the intention of the team. There was a lot of positive things in the performance, but ultimately we haven't defended well enough. And to concede 2 goals means it's not so easy to win the game. So that's a disappointing thing for us. Well, I think you have to credit Everton. They do what they do well. They use their physicality. They use the set pieces. They ask you a question, but I think most of the game we controlled fairly well, as much as you can at this level. But ultimately, the first goal is really disappointing from a set-piece perspective. We spoke about that before the game. And then the second goal, we haven't attacked well enough and then exposed ourselves to a big space to defend and haven't done it well enough. So these little small things that when you look at how much we put into the game and how much we tried to attack, to be cheap with the goals we conceded is frustrating.
We had Chelsea head coach Graham Potter speaking there. Let's hear from Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta as they beat Crystal Palace by 4-1. He was pleased with how his side bounced back following their exit from the Europa League in midweek.
Really happy, really pleased the way we started the game. I was already really happy with the way they reacted after Thursday, and we took any question mark away from it, show a lot of determination, a lot of purpose in our way of playing, and I'm really happy to perform the way we did after playing 120 minutes, after losing 2 big players for us, and still compete and win the game like we did. I think the team did really well, and we have obviously individuals that excel to be at the level that we want. But B was again really, really good today, really affecting the results with his contribution, especially in the opponent's box. So really happy.
Mikel Arteta is Arsenal head coach. Let's get to some FA Cup action that also took place. Manchester City, they beat Burnley by 6-0. Erling Haaland getting a hat-trick in that particular game. Yes, here for Man City head coach Pep Guardiola.
No, I make a substitution because I didn't want he broke the record that Messi had in the FA Cup here in England. That's why my intention, because always I try to punish my players, you know that? This is my intention, always is. Yeah, 9 goals into games. So yeah, we had a good momentum. So we had a good month. February was really tough. Newcastle game was incredibly difficult. But yeah, we did it. And after Crystal Palace, Leipzig, and today was a good month. Now we have a few days to rest, and hopefully the players come back from the international break the best condition as possible to face the last part of the season, being alive in 3 competitions. This is a dream. And the best is coming, and hopefully we can handle it game by game, what we have done so far, with the intention that if we lose the game, we are over, we are out, yeah, we're going to try it.
Pep Guardiola is head coach of Manchester City, now Sheffield United. They were also 3-2 winners against Blackburn, and then Brighton and Hove Albion, they beat Grimsby by 5-0. Manchester United were also up against Fulham Football Club. That game ended 3-1 in favour of Manchester United. So in the semi-final draw, Manchester City will face Championship side Sheffield United in the FA Cup semis, while Brighton will play Man United. Now both semi-finals will take place on will take place at Wembley Stadium across the weekend of the 22nd to the 23rd of April. So that's what's going on as far as the FA Cup is concerned. Let's get to some classical news from the Spanish La Liga, and Frank Kessie scored a dramatic late winner as Barca beat Real Madrid to move 12 points clear in La Liga. Now Real went ahead in El Clasico against the round of play as Vinicius' cross was headed into his own net by Barca defender Ronald Araujo. Now, Barca equalized just before halftime through Sergio Roberto's shot after Rafinha's effort had been blocked. Now, Marco Asensio saw a late strike for Real ruled out for offside before Kessie scored the injury time winner. Both sides have 12 league matches remaining, and Barca are in a dominant position as they look to win their title for the first time since the 2018-2019 season. Let's finish off with some basketball from the NBA. The Nuggets, they were winners against the Brooklyn Nets, and then the Phoenix Suns fell to the OKC Thunder. The Spurs were winners against the Atlanta Hawks. The Heat also won on the road against the Pistons. The Pelicans got themselves a much-needed win against the Rockets, and then the Milwaukee Bucks, after clinching their playoff spot, still won their game against the Raptors. The Clippers beat the Trailblazers, and then the Lakers were also winners when they took on the Orlando Magic. That's all for this morning's edition of Kickoff. My name is Benjamin Nketia. There's more sports at citysportsonline.com.
Technology University. Happy 40th. May the good Lord fulfill all his desires, renew your strength, and continue to bless you. From your wife Maria, mother Mispa, daughter Lebene, and siblings Deladem and Co. Woman, better please wish my son Anaya Kojo Efum of Ghana Christian International High School. He's 15 years old today. A big happy birthday. I pray for divine grace, mercy, and favor upon him. From your father, Emmanuel Kojo Efum.
This one says, belated birthday to Mr. Daniel Harrison Ado, the administrator of the PCG Hatcher District. From your wife Pamela, Kester, and Kieran, your children, as well as the entire Hatchu district and family, and we love you. That's the message that's coming in. This one says, yesterday was my sweet sister-in-law's birthday, Mrs. Gloria Alemawo. Okay, and today is my husband's birthday, George Senor Owusu. Kindly wish them both a blessed birthday for me. I love them sincerely.
Happy belated birthday to Pastor Mike Noah Gbewonu, aka Fire for Fire. That was yesterday. Enjoy the day. Looking forward to seeing you at the family consecration service on 1st May 2023. And to Deborah of ECG, keep up the good work. From David of Compassion, Ghana. Grab your favorite drink for your refreshment on all occasions, whether it's 300 ml Coke Classic, it's now going for 5 cedis, or the Coke Zero, Fanta or Sprite going for 4 cedis. Keep the enjoyment going. You can also get 1.5 liter Coke Classic in a plastic bottle, now at 20 cedis, and the same for the others for 18 cedis. Bring the excitement and fun to all locations. Enjoy the real ice cold refreshment with family and friends. Imagine you had the power to impact the world around you. At the British Council, they see students from all over the world with dreams of a bright future coming together for quality education that achieves goals. Those who study abroad in countries like the UK are getting much more than just a degree. They are getting a world of valuable experiences. Visit the British Council website to find out how you can own your future. And if you're looking to bank the easy way, then join Zenith Bank's easy banking family. Download the Z-Mobile Ghana app, log on to our individual or corporate internet banking platforms, or simply dial *966# to enjoy seamless banking on the go. You can make transfers, you can top up airtime, you can pay bills and pay for goods and services, and do so much more. Join the easy banking family and experience easy banking with Zenith Bank in your best interest. And if you're finding it challenging managing our value-added services on Vodafone, then the Vodafone Content Manager now allows you to check, control, and subscribe to value-added services with ease. Be in control of your mobile content subscription and choose the type of content that suits your style. Dial *463# or visit my Vodafone app now to conveniently manage all your content. Vodafone, further together.
Now, the Heritage Christian College is offering a BSc nursing degree program, and remember, it's accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission and the Nursing and Midwifery Council. Now, with that course, you are learning in a great environment. They've got ultra-modern and well-equipped skills lab for practicals, and you are getting hands-on training for the job market through technology-driven teaching and learning. There are also other programs, BBA programs, BSc Information Technology, BSc Information Security, and Bachelor of Theology. Contact the Heritage Christian College. They are at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium. Call them on 0547 777 731 or 0202 298399 or dial *789*300# to purchase an online serial number and apply at hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian College, a university training compassionate entrepreneurial leaders. Now, Galamsey is destroying a lot of our communities and a lot of our forests and, surroundings and the environment, but that's not a good thing, of course, and it's not a good thing. The National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program is saying that you can sign on to that program and mine using responsible methods, respect the laws of our country, help protect the future of our children as well. This message is powered by the Ministry of Lands and Resources and the Minerals Commission of Ghana.
And I feel like giving you another Samuel Owusu this morning.
But this one's a great kokosechi. It says because a kokosechi eats from the dumpster, it lives long.
Is that what he's saying?
So essentially saying that now, because it says the kokosechi will not get enticed by all the things the hunter would serve him at home, so that it will become a delicacy. He will rather choose to eat wild and live long.
Okay, so cockroach is a vulture, right?
Yes.
I see. I have
So essentially saying that in this life, just do your things well.
No, I mean, this is one of his better songs. I mean,
this is a good song. This is a very didactic song.
I'm not really sure I get.
So which one do you want? Asembe ba debio.
No. The best one, of course, is one I wish. Is that
or your county, which is very simple.
Yeah, but I think Nkwane is good. What's your one I wish? Yes. Now, I wanted to sort of link them to two things.
Okay.
I'm worried about a couple of things.
What?
The cocoa board intercepting 1,500 bags of cocoa being smuggled. You know, the story is written from a perspective that cocoa board has done a good job in
catching the people.
But that's not the real story.
Really? What's happening?
The real story is the rate at which people are, or the length people are prepared to go to smuggle cocoa out of Ghana. And the factors being more economic than security, in the sense that because of the differential in the, so a couple of things, we pay 800 cedis per bag for our cocoa. Now, the Ivory Coast government pays their cocoa farmers in CFA. Now, because the cedi is relatively weaker than the weak against the CFA, people have an incentive to smuggle the cocoa into Cote d'Ivoire. And the amount they get, when they calculate what they get in cedis, they get at least 200 cedis more per bag.
Okay.
Right? So there's a whole chain of smuggling from the Ahafo areas. So you are going beyond, where's my Ghana map? Doma Hinkro, all the way down to the Western region. And so this 1,500 bags that were intercepted appears to be maybe a tip of the iceberg. Because I'm told that people can't even get cocoa in Ghana. The other problem is that some of the people doing the smuggling are supposed to be like working with official license buying companies. Now already,
like purchasing clerks and the likes.
Yes, and already our cocoa output has fallen because of Galamsey. Cote d'Ivoire has done much better than us. In fact, if you look at the figures, when I was talking to the Minister for Agric, the former Minister for Agric, our cocoa output hit a peak in 2021, and then it's been southward ever since. All right, so there's a major problem with the cocoa situation, and I don't know if Cocoa Board will be honest to tell us the effect of this on their output. For example, in 2020-2021, we had a little over 1 million tons.
Okay.
Now in 2021-2022, our output decreased by over 54% to 683,000 metric tons. And we're in 2023, and the situation appears to be getting worse, partly because of the challenges cocoa. So there are a number of things. There are older trees, there aren't enough young farmers. Cocoa farmers are giving their lands people to do galamsey, and they put destroy the land. All right. And then you're having the price differential, which is now an incentive for people to smuggle their cocoa to Cote d'Ivoire predominantly. And if you look at the level of sophistication of the people who were doing the smuggling in this one that Cocoa Board intercepted, it should tell you that people are really determined to smuggle. I mean, we are talking about Mamprobi, right? Western region, Volta region, all in the same sentence. We're talking about Dunkwa Onofin Sefi Bekwai, right? I mean, it is a very serious situation, and cocoa is probably our second highest foreign exchange earner. So if we're going to be diverting public money into private pockets, and our cocoa output is going to go low in the face of a major economic crisis, and I'm not even sure what Cocoa Board is going to do about this. I don't know if they have a solution to this. Okay, because it appears that when it comes to smuggling, it's not just about security, it's also about, because there's so many people involved. All right, so it's a concern. Then I linked that to last week Thursday, where people go to a mining company, go and chase people out, burn 12 vehicles. Like it is very serious, you know. So on one hand, there seems to be a breakdown of law and order, And then on another hand, there seems to be wanton disregard for the rules. All right. So here's the story. Galamsey has burnt down 12 vehicles, including an ambulance belonging to the Golden Star Resources, a mining site at Wasabenso in the western region, following disturbances between members of the community and the mining company. Now, this version of the story is reported on Peace FM, and it says that Gerald Osebo, senior manager, Group Corporate Affairs of Golden Star Resources, confirmed the incident. He said they burnt 12 of their vehicles, including excavators and an ambulance used in serving the community. They destroyed some of the offices belonging to the contractor. The disturbance at the mining site has resulted in the death of one person, injured 4 others, and some properties belonging to the company were also destroyed. Here is Umaru Sanda Amadu speaking to Mr. Gerald Oseboache on Eyewitness News.
Well, I mean, we usually do our patrols, to protect our concessions and what is actually required of us by law to be responsible for our boundaries, to prevent incursions, and also to make sure that people are safe, community members, i.e. farmers and hunters that work in the bush are safe, are not impeded by our operation, because we do blasting and all that. So this is the premise for which we have patrols along our boundaries. And on such patrols, we encounter different sightings. Most quite often incursions by illegal miners. So on one such occasion, which was yesterday, we encountered some illegal miners, which our modus operandi is to engage people that encroach or make incursions into our boundaries, engage them and get them to understand and move away, either because they are illegal or because they are at risk or they are basically not allowed there. So this is the modus operandi. So we engaged these illegal miners to move, and they moved away. But obviously, they were interested in that area because obviously they had some interest in the or something like that there. So they came back. And when they came back, we tried to ward them off with the help of the police. And they dispersed again. And apparently, unconfirmed reports reaching us that they may have injured in the course of being dispersed. And that probably infuriated them. And they came back at night and ran our security post down, touched our vehicles, destroyed our offices, basically bent things down. So we called in the police, or the police called in for reinforcement from Takwa, and they've been there since last night. Calm has been restored, and they are investigating what went wrong, and some of our security men were injured. They've been treated and discharged. That's the story.
Okay, so did they come at night, during the day?
During the day. It started during the day.
So you had other workers around there at the time then?
Oh, yeah. We worked 24 hours. So there had been a change of shift. Yeah, we had workers there, yeah.
Okay. Now, have you had previous dealings with them in the past?
We work in we work there. So I wouldn't say previous dealings. I would say we engage them. We have a relationship with them. We employ from the community. So, but not with illegal miners. Illegal miners, we don't deal with them.
Now, these people who invaded your premises are illegal miners, not youth, not youth of the town.
I will call them youth. The youth, they have a chief. They are not happy with that. They'll go to their chief.
How long have you been operating in that area?
Well, we were operating there, and we reopened the mine last year.
So, but this is the first time you are having such an invasion on your property?
Sure, yeah.
So specifically, they want you to get out of their business, or there is some demand?
Not like they can want us. We are legal. There's not some demand. They were not happy that we drove them off. They came back and wanted to come back. We stopped them. They think, like I say.
Is it the case that police reports? So is it the case that the two of you, and you being one group and they being another group, are fighting over the same concession?
We can't be fighting about the same concession. It's our concession. We're illegal.
I mean, I know. I'm not talking about the ownership.
That comes on our compression. It's not. Yeah. But if you're not talking about ownership, we're talking about encroachment.
So they want to take your concession from you.
They don't want to. Illegal fighters go into wherever they go.
I know. I'm just trying to. I mean, I'm not justifying what they're doing. I'm just saying that. So what they have done is to try to take your concession from you, and you said no.
Not necessarily, no. I don't think so. They have put you there and they want it. If they come and mine there, they obviously have tag-ups. They've done some work, so they would want to come for it.
So they're coming for property that belongs to them.
It doesn't belong to them. When we see people on our sites, we need to drive them off. Whatever is there is ours.
And it is the reason for driving them out that they regrouped and returned.
Yes. What they were coming for, we're yet to find out. The police is doing an investigation. But when we see, the law says that you are responsible to protect your operation. And when anybody gets onto your operation and something happens to him, you're responsible. So we ward them off.
Do you have like a fence, or you just have people who...
Yes, that's fair.
Do you have enough men to ward them off? Because it appears they have won this time around.
Well, we have an operation there. So from based on our operation, we know we have. But it takes you ward them off. But we are not armed. If they are armed, we don't know. But if they are armed, obviously we are not armed. So we are at least.
So your men who protect the place for you are not armed men. Do you not have...
No. We don't. The law does not allow us to be armed, and we are not armed.
So you have private security and armed?
Yes.
Doesn't the government provide you legitimate businesses with military support and so on?
Some time ago, there used to be military support. They are no longer there. They are not there.
All right. But how bad is the situation in your area, though? Aside the concession that you operate on, do they operate...
I wouldn't know how bad the situation is in other areas, but I know that when we have to protect our site, and when they come there, we stop them.
Any incursion they make, you stop them as much as you can.
This is not the first time. We always engage them and drive them off exactly as much as we can. That's the faith. So as much as we can, as long as we can, we do that. When we think that we need to report to the police, when there are serious atrocities, we have to report to the police. The police come in and do the investigation, like yesterday.
Illegal miners Thursday burnt properties belonging to Golden Star Wasan Mine at Benso in the Western region. That interview was with Gerard Hilary Osei-Boache on Eyewitness News. He said the miners, among other things, torched 12 vehicles, including excavators, ambulances, and pickups, forcing the staff of the company to do a Franklin Bedu. They ran for their lives. This is serious. And it would appear as though the Galamsey menace has taken violent proportions, dimensions, which is what we're saying. So I'm linking this to the cocoa smuggling. Both are in the Western region as well. Resource rich, and you're having these challenges. I'm not sure. I mean, and I'm seeing photos of the place. Charlie, bro, it's serious.
Yeah, I saw the videos when
in broad daylight. So it's not like you are going to steal the person's concession at night when they are sleeping.
No,
you are going there in the day to chase them. So what are you trying to do?
That's what Godfrey is
saying. So are you
saying
saying that they didn't have a right to be on the concession? That you are against their mining operation there?
No, I don't. Look, the danger in
12 cars bent too.
The danger in this for me is, like I said, just how there are two different situations here. But in all this, the determination of the locals to get what they think is theirs. So with the cocoa, the farmers want an improved price.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are corrupt elements in the middle who are taking advantage of higher prices elsewhere to deprive the state of legitimate income and legitimate access to beans, cocoa, because we do need the cocoa to do other things with as well. In fact, my sources tell me that in some districts, there are at least 5 districts who the past month or so have showed no returns for cocoa.
Meaning
that means
the cocoa farmers may have sold their
cocoa
to purchasing clerks.
Yes.
But the cocoa did not end up in Ghana's official cocoa records.
So there are no returns there.
In at least 5 districts.
Yes, in at least 5 districts.
And I'm told this has been on for 3 months.
3 months since December, January-ish of some kind. Then there is the mining where we are seeing more violent clashes emerging. We've had group, I don't use gangs, group on group violence, where you have competing miners fighting over spots that they think they own. And then we now also have these miners clashing with the more established mining companies over concessions. And they are becoming more brazen about their encroachment of these spots, whereby we are now having more violent clashes. Like I said, we saw the one where the soldiers engaged them, and although the soldiers didn't use their firearms in that situation. Then we've also had this one where I want to hear from the community side
or
of
the
things,
police,
or the police side, on what actually happened.
So far, we are only hearing from the mining company,
from Wassa.
Unless we are saying that the community is in agreement, and therefore nobody wants to even comment on it.
Yes, I would want to hear more, but there is obviously a lot of work to be done in bridging the gap between local ownership of our natural resources, where a lot of locals are feeling that they are not benefiting. And that is what is leading one to the interest in selling to others, and the second one in the violent clashes that we are seeing. And with the mining one, we need to watch it, because it will get to a point where we don't want it to get to a point where some of these groups start looking for more sophisticated weaponry than machetes, hoes, stones, and sticks.
I won't be surprised if they had guns. Now, so far, we are told 33 people have been arrested, and that the ambulance that they bent is actually an ambulance that is used to service the community. So people are stopping at nothing. Keep an eye on that story. I'll do a couple of announcements to bring you to social media trends, and then if there's a follow-up, I'll do. Otherwise, I'll take you to Kumasi as well. But this morning, we are doing a lot of, we call it bits and bobs. So in Wassa, Benso, is that the name of the place? Wassa Mine at Benso. Golden Star Wassa. No, okay, let's get it right. The other company is Golden Star Wassa, and their mine is at Benso. 33 people have been arrested after they violently attacked a mine belonging to this company, burning 12 vehicles in the process. Also, the Cocoa Board Special Task Force has intercepted
1,500
over 1,500 bags of cocoa being smuggled. Our understanding is that this smuggling is being perpetrated by syndicates who go to cocoa farmers legitimately and pay them the 800, and then they divert it through border towns into Cote d'Ivoire, where they get better prices. This is going to affect Ghana's revenue very seriously. Now, Tech and Social Media Trends is next, brought to you by Vodafone. The One Ghana promo is here. With just one Ghana CD, you have 20 minutes talk time to all other networks and 1 gig data every day between 5 a.m. and 11:59 a.m. Dial star 530 # subscribe and enjoy longer conversations and browsing. The Vodafone One Ghana promo is the best value offer in town. It's easy on your pocket. Save big when you subscribe to the One Ghana promo. Wake up to great value every morning with only 1 Ghana CDs and get 1 gig data and 20 minutes talk time. Vodafone, further together. All right, so Nathan will tell us what's trending.
Well, yes, it's been a very interesting weekend of sports. So several sports-related trends there as well. So strangely enough, Kim Kardashian.
Why is she trending?
Well, last Thursday, she was at Arsenal's Europa League game, and they lost to Sporting. Over the weekend, she was at PSG's game, and they lost. So now people are saying that if Kim Kardashian shows up at your game, you are going to lose. Interesting. Other trends, Dani Ceballos, Carlo Ancelotti, Real Madrid El Clasico trending. Obviously, last night the two teams...
Isn't your El Clasico is no longer...
Yeah, it doesn't have the edge, but, I watched last night's Clasico. Technically, it was a very, very sound game.
You know how they say names make news.
Yeah.
Players make games.
Yes.
Without Messi, without Ronaldo, without Mbappe.
Those things.
Yeah, it's gone.
Other sport-related trends. Offside is trending. Willian trending.
Why is Chris Hughton not trending? Why is Black Stars not trending?
Well, Black Stars are trending because, of course, Chris Hughton gets unveiled later today. This morning in Kumasi as the team's new head coach officially. So that's what's happening in terms of the trends. Now to some tech news and a few tips on those who are experiencing cyber stalking or they feel that their cyber security is not really up to standard. These are a few things you can do. First, check your router to see if it's functioning properly, to see if other people don't have access. Change your passwords if you can. They help fight off stalkers or people who are not authorized. Use stronger two-factor authentication.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and then be on the hunt for malware. And then update your software as and when you have to. But if all of these are beyond you, contact a cybersecurity professional to guide you through and tighten a few nuts and bolts. So on that end, you are better protected.
Wonderful. That was second social media trend.
One Ghana, pet. Just one Ghana.
Yo, bro, I beg, make you give me correct shock absorber. Or make a do video concept, then take the Gaussian P for the engine show you.
Hey, yawa humache. Every morning you the tear calls, they browse. Actually, something they.
Hey, Tago, the way town make hot. I grow best one if it be you where you get Vodafone one Ghana promo them out. 20 minutes talk time to call all networks. Where you start get data and 1 gig from 5 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. Bye. Anka you go do pass me safe, Ankasa. You dial *530# hash. Make we enjoy. You go fit subscribe as many times as you want.
Yes, plantain.
Yo, sweet Ama, take this by Vodafone one Ghana bundle. Moku vibe plus video calls and taste. You catch the vibe. Early morning, 5 a.m. sharp.
Vodafone, further together.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Later, dear. Elam is here.
Sure you don't want some of this?
Are you trying to make me late again?
Oh, come on. Have a little taste.
Okay, just a bite. This is amazing.
Right?
Kobe, now you will make late way day here. Charlie, wait, is that the new Indomie beef I smell?
Would you like...
Oh, yes, please.
Your favorite great tasting Indomie is now available in the new delicious beef flavor. So, whatever the moment, beef it up with the new Indomie beef. Indomie, tastes great. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you looking for a property to buy, rent, or invest in a prime area? You can own one of the limited 3-bedroom apartments in Sakumono Estates for an incredible haircut-free half price of $50,000. Yes, $50,000. We also deal in original Japan Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit This Way Property Investment at Sakumono near the Celebrity Golf Course. Call us or send us a WhatsApp to 0200-535-515. That is 0200-535-515. This Way Property Investment, your haircut-free investment.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xBet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
There are moments in life
when you're just so scared and you feel like just giving up. Oh, but Dino Milk is saying, we know that you can do it. Believe in yourself and then go for it. Go for it. Nourishmental, that is your Dino Milk.
Choose nourishment. Choose Dano Milk Whole Cow, your nutritious instant powdered milk.
Dano Milk. Go for it.
This advert is FDA approved.
Solar Tech, the power to protect. Unstable power voltage remains a costly and real danger to your electrical and electronic devices. But have no fear. SolarTech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems and fully protects your valuable equipment. However, some unscrupulous people are selling fake power protection products branded as SolarTech. Beware of these imitations and fake SolarTech products in town, because they will fail you and cause major damage to your appliances. You might even lose your home to fire outbreaks. You can be at the wrong side of the law by dealing in and selling fake SolarTech products. Beware of counterfeit SolarTech products. Get your genuine SolarTech products today at our Abelempe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 UR Street, Abelempe, or call 0302-761-450 or 0302-775106. SolarTech, the power to protect.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
What them?
Minutes past 8, Citi Breakfast Show. Quick happy birthday greeting coming to Yofi Grant. Today's your birthday, coming in from Raphael Donko, who is your main policeman. And I feel I need to join myself to this wish as well. Heard you on the business edition on Friday. I'm not sure if you're even in Ghana. Couple of comments coming in on the two issues we're discussing. And the reason I'm focusing on these stories is that, you know, sometimes one or two episodes point to a much bigger problem. So, as with the smuggling of cocoa, we're told that 1,500 people caught, 1,500 bags smuggling is just a tip of the bigger iceberg. And again, this issue with the Golden Star and the attack on them is one of many that we haven't even been reporting, we are told. We'll deal with that shortly. But imagine waking up to the shocking realization that a part of your precious hair, Nathan, has been cut off. It's even more frustrating when you've been patiently growing your strands to get in on the latest fashion trend. Well, introducing the iVest account from Easyway Savings and Loans, a fixed-term investment account that delivers great returns on your investment over a short period of time with no haircut. Open an iVest account today with a minimum of 5,000 cedis and watch your money grow. What are you waiting for? Call Easyway Savings and Loans now on 0550-144-144 or visit easyway.com.gh for more information. iVest, no haircut. iVest, excellent returns guaranteed. Easyway Savings and Loans is a member of the Ghana Deposit Protection Scheme. Get ready to elevate your driving experience with a vehicle from Toyota Ghana. For a limited time only, Toyota Ghana is offering a super bundle offer on any of the following: the 1.4-liter Starlet, the 1.8-liter Corolla Cross Adventure, and the 1.5-liter Rush. Buy any of the above-mentioned vehicles within this super bundle offer and enjoy an irresistible price discount, a 1-year free comprehensive vehicle insurance coverage, 1 year free home insurance cover, 1 year free service, plus a free starter fuel. Visit any of our showrooms. We are now in Accra, we are in Tema, we are in Kumasi, we are in Tamale, we are in Takwa, we are in Takrady. You may also call 0302-910-204. Credit purchase is also available through special arrangements with our finance partners, Toyota Superior Quality. All right, let me ask you a question. What comes to mind when you hear the popping sound?
Is it no ice cream?
Yeah, man. Refreshing Fan Yogurt, the delicious Fan Choco from the authentic Ghana cocoa, and the So Nice Fan Ice, all from Fan Milk PLC. For more than 60 years, Fan Milk has been there for us, giving us high quality, delicious, and nutritious products. Fan Milk says, we did for you, Ankasa. So go ahead and enjoy your favorite Fan Yogurt, Strawberry, Fan Choco, and Fan Ice at 3 cedis for the 145 ml pouch and 2 cedis for the 100 ml pouch. Fan Yogo, so cool, so good. For more information, check our social media pages or call 030-700-0595.
Now imagine you had the power to impact the world around you. At the British Council, they see students from all over the world with dreams of a bright future coming together for a quality education that achieves goals. Those who study abroad in countries like the UK are getting much more than just a degree. They are getting a wealth of valuable experiences. Visit the British Council website to find out how you can own your future. It's the Imperial Insure and Win promo from now till March 31. Insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance and win handsome rewards. You can win fuel coupons, gifts, vouchers, special souvenirs, and many, many, many more. You're also getting a free 1-year life insurance cover as part of your motor insurance cover. So get it double from Imperial General. Call them today on 0302-788-955 or 0577-667-436 or talk to any of their agents across the country for more details. T's and C's apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection. La Bianca Company Limited is proud to present Akoko Tasty. Akoko Tasty is locally produced, bred and slaughtered, and comes freshly portioned in chicken breast, thighs, wings, backs, and gizzards. And La Bianca is the sole distributor of Akoko Tasty. Call La Bianca on 0505-431-111 for more inquiries. La Bianca, your #1 frozen foods company.
Here's a text message that captures the seriousness of the situation. And it says, good morning. We should be very careful about the activities of galamseyers. Some of them are armed. This is how Boko Haram started. We should take this Golden Star assault seriously. We've allowed them to mess up our rivers and degraded our land. Why are we just allowing this to happen? Community mining is legal. Galamsey and our whole fight against illegal mining is a joke. Certain diseases are already cropping up and malformed children are going to be born. God help Ghana. Not very optimistic at all, this message.
Well, yeah, a few messages. This one says, on the cocoa issue, the problem is our leaders. Let them do the proper thing by paying the right prices to our farmers. It's not easy to farm. It's not easy to do cocoa farming. And at the end of the day, they pay you peanuts for your hard-earned cocoa. People who haven't seen cocoa before are enjoying cocoa scholarships and taking huge salaries. Until equity is applied, we'll continue to see more smuggling of our cocoa to neighboring countries. And this other message says, simple and naive question for me. Why is it that Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire both sell cocoa on the same international market, yet Cote d'Ivoire offers their farmers a better price? Is it a case of the state fleecing the poor farmer? That's somebody's question for the morning.
Another story that's worrying us is the Bolgatanga-based judge who's had to flee the region because of attacks. Again, we're getting some updates on that for you. And these are all insidious. So these kind of stories are under the radar kind of stories, but I think they point to a much bigger problem. The cocoa smuggling, the people attacking a mining company, and a judge who's had to flee a town because he is essentially rejecting bribes. I mean, if we are not concerned about this as a society, then I really don't know what we are on about as a country. I'll be telling you shortly about where you should be on Saturday and Sunday. Very important thing happening, but Nathan will talk to us about two quick things.
Yes. The next COVID-19 vaccination campaign for the Greater Accra region is happening from the 15th to the 19th of March. 15th to the 19th of March. So it just ended over the weekend. Now, for those who did not hear, it was a chance for you to get your booster jabs. And for those who did not get their first and second jabs, an opportunity as well. But be that as it may, do protect yourself, protect your family, get vaccinated against COVID-19 now. Observe all the protocols, wear a mask in crowded places, wash your hands often with soap and running water, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and if when you can, do keep some physical distancing. The message is from the MOH, the GHS, and
you can't let down your guard at all. You can't let down your guard at all.
Well, Bernard, you're talking about Galamsey. Well, this Galamsey thing must stop. It's time to speak up and finally put an end to illegal mining activities.
And this concomitant.
Thank you.
Concomitant evil.
Now, there are more responsible mining methods under the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program. So those who are interested can sign up to those methods. Respect the laws and help protect the future of our children. This message is powered by the Ministry of Lands and Resources and the Minerals Commission of Ghana.
Wanyami sumu mponi Nakaka se won kromfo ankaba hai Who praise the Lord mponi Na crucify him Obey ni den Wanyami sumu mponi Na beya kromfo Wanyami sumu mponi Na beya udini Yes, I said me as a pa. Every friend of my boy. Every friend of my mom. Yes, I said me as a pa. Send me and I say,
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.1.
I am the Sumponi. Yes, I said me as a father. Send me and I say, I don't need your mama. Yes, I said me as a father. Send me and I say, I don't need your boy. And no, dear, what kind I send you at the end of the Ketua, who are the Sani, who bet me as so. Yes, who put the Hias and I won't. Wouldn't him in so I. Who ben I knew, why she so I shit. Now, Mutromojo, Sano dear, yet. I send me and I say, nada need your DNA. Yes, when I say me and I say, and I done here for Bonnet. Shabab Ropana Fay, I done here Sikasem. Me already what? Don't you mean Penaya? Me already you. Sadi and yet, I am. Chris on the France on them, Wabba soon or Quabu soon fear. Ube you know, passion so I shit. Wakrani kunse, or qua sorry, wakwa question and pradem. I got my monster fato Christoni by Sadi and yet, the man munya here.
And by the way, this Saturday and Sunday, all roads will lead. I heard you guys on Friday lead to back to the village food bazaar. You know, I didn't know you were such a connoisseur of local cuisine. You know, it was quite interesting to listen to you.
I'm putting away some money because I'm going to raid. I'm raiding the place.
The way Baumia storm is
I need a big basket,
you know,
to put the food in.
Baumia storms, what do you call it?
With a posse of 80 MPs.
So you are storming the what's the name of the place?
The AMA forecourt
on Saturday and Sunday
with 2 big baskets
with Tupperware.
You are going to harvest things.
Put everything.
Now this call is for those who don't know about the Back of Village Food Bazaar. It is so exciting. I remember last year there was so much drama going on. You meet a lot of nice people. So I have groups of friends who come like 8-10 people, set up and just eat and they chat. Then there's Kwampa and all these groups that do jamas, proper singing. Then there's this Akan drama type of reenactments where people are acting like Akan drama kind of thing. Then there's cooking competition. There's Gary soaking competition. Charlie, how many balls of hinge can you eat within a minute? Like, it is so much fun. And there's stuff for the kids to open their face. Look, Saturday, Sunday, from 9 in the morning throughout the day, eating some great food. Look, meet me there. There's a place in my mother's hometown called Meet Me There. It's an event called Meet Me There. Yeah. So back to the village food, but please meet me there on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday you can just drive in after church, or if you don't want to go to church, you know some people they do their watching on Sunday morning.
Yes.
You can decide to pass there in the morning. All kinds of things are being sold and sampled from the north, from the middle, and from the south, and all the things that you need cooked for home, properly cooked as well.
Yes. In addition to snacks, you know, all these are snacks, condiments.
Oh my God.
All these things.
Yeah, they call them savories.
Thank you.
I like chai. Oh no, bro, a condiment can it be?
Yeah, but she's talking spicy stuff. You know,
which was spices. It was spices. Oh, Nathan Kwam. All right, I'm turning to. Sorry, I interrupted the song. Nathan, I know you like the song. This is Martin Cancer. Oh my God. The special dedication to all my Kumasi listeners. Lots of activity this weekend. Apart from the KGCR story, Akwesidaye was also massively commemorated, and I'm told that the vice president was there with a posse of MPs. Is that the right adjective?
You know, one of the papers said he had 80 MPs.
You know, when I was in class 6, there was this thing we used to do where you would do collective noun contests. So what do you call a group of judges? What do you call a group of parliamentarians? What do you call a group of MPs following the vice president?
But did they follow the vice president or they were at Akwesidaye?
Well, the story claims they went with him. Now let's talk to our Ashanti or Middle Belt bureau chief at Pomafo. Of course, Keita is the main reason why I called him, but I think like a lot of stuff happening in the Ashanti region. Edward, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
How is Kumasi today?
Well, Kumasi has been busy and a lot of things are happening at the same time. Apart from the KJCR issues, former President Mahama is in town, Vice President is also in town, Precision is supposed to be unveiled very soon, and also a lot of things are happening at the same time here.
So as they say, Agrona saw, because I know that, in fact, I interviewed Dr. Efri on Point of View on Wednesday, and it was very clear in the interview that a lot of the people in the MPP race were from the Ashanti region. So it looks like Ashanti region is having a lot of politics, even before the national the national politics. A lot of politics going on in the region, right?
Exactly, and the key people are always coming to the region to canvass for votes and not even trying to see key people. As you realize that once they come around, ordinarily they'll go and see the Asante, they'll go to the Menchia area, try to see some key people and all that. So it looks like almost all the time, at least you have one of the key people being in the region, trying to still get the people to be on his side. And so that's how it's been for some time now, especially as the presidential and the parliamentary primaries are getting closer.
Wow. I'm very interested in this. Probably we should talk about this a bit more. John Mahama is in the Ashanti region. We understand he was in Afuano. We understand Dr. Baumia was at Akwesi Diet, and there were 80 members of parliament following him. I mean, is that true? Did they follow him there, or they just happened to be there with him?
From what we have gathered, and it was actually obvious that they were basically with him, they were with his entourage. And the last time the vice president, for example, even came around to, that was the commissioning of the refurbished Kumasi Central Mosque. And all these MPs, the same people, were actually following him. So at a point, they even had to board a VIP to get to the venue and all that. So they were actually in the same bus, and it's the same group of people who have been following him. And in between, you also have as a former trade minister, Alan Martin, he has also been around. He's still even around, and you have some group of people who are also following him. And so it's just that kind of thing. So all these people are in the region at the moment as I speak, Bernard.
And we understand Otunfo also commissioned a new police station for, I think it was Tech, and then he unveiled a statue. So he's been quite busy as well. Okay, but let's go to KJTR. If I tune to a radio station in Kumasi this morning, I'm sure, yes, Akwesi, that will be discussed, politics will be discussed, but I think the KJTR issue will still be big, right? How big was the fire, and how are the people of Kumasi discussing the issue?
Well, you see, one issue with KJTR is that it's a household name in the region, and there are lots of people who actually make their livelihood around the KJTR. There are some transport operators who are around, and there are many traders who are operating there. Apart from the shops, there are many people who operate on tables and all that within the facility. And so a lot of people actually have interest in issues concerning KJTR. With a fire outbreak, you see, in KJTR, that's according to the management, there are over 7,200 shops and within the facility. Apart from that, there are a number of tables. People who are selling on tables. So there are many people who operate within the market. And so with all these people, they have some kind of interest in it. And with a fire incident, it happened on Wednesday. And out of all the shops, there were about 50 shops that were directly affected. And so the fact that that's 50 out of 7,000, that's 7,200 shops. Some of the traders are not happy with the fact that the whole facility has to be closed down, because initially it was supposed to be closed for 3 days for all the assessment to be done. They are saying that they feel the authorities could have used the 3 days. But when the delegation from the local government ministry came around and indicated that the facility should only be open after the consultants and all the other security experts have recommended that it should be opened. And so now the board met, and they're saying it has to be extended for 1 more week. That's beginning today. And so there are a lot of confusion. The traders are insisting that they want to start operating at the area that was not affected, while the other side can be closed for as long as possible. And so that's the whole confusion. But the management is insisting that they are not going to allow traders to operate. Bernard.
How bad was the fire? You've said there were 7,200 shops. So if only 50 have been burned, in terms of scale, that doesn't seem like a big part of the market. Was it because of the intensity of the fire and the way it was reported? Why are they asking that the market be closed for 1 more week? Because as you rightly said, 50 out of 7,200 doesn't seem such a large number. So was it the extent of damage? Was it that it took a long time to to quench the fire? Why are they insisting on closing for one more week?
It has to do with how the fire got out of hand. Because they are saying that the facility has been constructed in a manner where it should be able to contain some of these issues. So once there's a fire outbreak, it shouldn't even escalate. It shouldn't extend beyond that shop. So they feel that there are a lot of structural issues that have not been checked. They feel that the sprinklers and the smoke detectors should have worked perfectly, and it shouldn't have even escalated to that point. And Bernard Avle said that when we even got to the scene, at that point, it was still intensified, although fire officers were around and all that. So according to the board, they feel that they have to do a lot of structural integrity tests, and it has to be extensive. And so it shouldn't just be for a short period. And so they shouldn't also say they are rushing to go in and use the facility, and then the other people who are using the non-affected area could also be affected, maybe, or another issue can happen. So they want it to be addressed comprehensively. And that's where the confusion lies. But today, the traders have just been allowed access to the facility just for 3 hours because of their resistance that they are coming up with. And so it's just for 3 hours, and then it to be closed again. So it looks like the traders are still trying to find a way of operating irrespective of the decision that has been made by the management and the board.
Just finally, for those of us who don't live in Kumasi, how important is KJTR to the economy? And also, we thought that with the new KJTR that had been built, the kinds of congestion we see in markets that leads to these fires, and the fact that there's no hydrant and the fire trucks cannot get there, we thought those things would be a thing of the past because the KJTR is a new place. So if you can describe the place and where the fire took place and why these fires keep occurring, even though we are told there's a new KJTR market.
And so, with this KJTR market, it has everything. That's anything at all that you can think of that you want to buy in a market. You can get it in this KJTR market. And one issue too is that because of the amount the traders are supposed to pay, not all the traders who ordinarily wanted to have shops were able to pay and have those spaces. And so some are still around the facility engaging in their hawking because they are saying that they are unable to pay because the amount is a bit high for them. But when we get to the facility proper, looking at how the whole issue is and how the fire even came about, the management is saying that, well, it's just because of someone's negligence or even the one who started it. Because, first of all, I actually engaged the management. They are saying that the people engaging in some combustible materials. And the question is, are they supposed to engage in those things? Are they supposed to sell those things there? But what we have even gathered is that people are not supposed to use gas cookers there. People are not supposed to use those combustible materials. They're not supposed to even engage in dealing with all those things. But they were engaging in them, and no one actually stopped them. And so what we have, that the eyewitnesses have been telling us is that it was as a result of engaging in some of these things, combustible materials at a particular shop, and the whole fire started. And what's a bit worrying is the fact that when it happened, it took around 15 minutes. It was still around the same area. The people did not even report to the management. They didn't even report to the fire officers at the same place. There's a fire station. So the case it has a police station, it has a fire station, it has a clinic, it has almost everything. And there's a fire station right in front of it, but they didn't inform. So over 15 minutes, the people around were trying to bring the fire under control. And when it got out of hand, that was when the fire service was called in. And that's how the whole issue happened. So this one, the management feels that it could have been controlled. Because I remember 2 years ago, I went to the same area, there was a fire incident, and the system was actually able to bring it under control. So it even spread beyond the shop that it started.
Finally, apart from all the politics, which we know accompanied the events over the weekend and the fire in KJTR, we also know that Chris Hughton will be outdoors today in Kumasi. So I'm sure if you guys were working overtime in terms of even the coverage of this news. I don't know how is this a big story in Kumasi? Because I'm sure the GFA chose the Ashanti Regional Capital because traditionally the Black Stars have had the best support from Kumasi. Is it picking up? What are people saying? Are they excited about Chris Hughton, or is it a low-key build-up?
Well, but it's a big deal for people in Kumasi. A lot of people are interested in. We've been meeting him, and people have been asking where it's going to happen and not. Initially, the specific venue was not given, but now it has been given as SG Mall. That's where it will be happening at 10 a.m. this morning. And so a lot of people are trooping to that area, although they know that they may not get access to the inner perimeters of where the whole thing will be happening. But some are just trying to be around so that they will have a glimpse of him, that at least they will see the various people who will be around to do the unveiling. And so it's a big deal. And when you even listen to local stations here, especially with the sports, they're talking about it. They're also talking about the Black Stars game on Thursday and how people should even troop to the Babara Sports Stadium. And so a lot of people are showing interest in that.
Thank you, Edward Opoma, for Middle Belt Bureau Chief, reporting from the Ashanti Regional Capital of Kumasi, where the issues are a lot. So if you are a radio guy in Kumasi this morning, Charlie, your plate is full. Like, you know, they are discussing Akwesi Daiba, Omia's coming. They are talking about KGTR. They are talking about Black Stars. I mean, I'm talking Kumasi. They're having sports morning shows. Yeah, like full. Yeah, full.
Oh yeah.
So from 6 to 10, just sports. Wow, it's so it's all happening in Kumasi today. It's all happening in Kumasi today. All right. So that was Edward Opoma for. But a quick comment on that though.
Yeah, on the KGTR situation, which is why I told you I had a small issue with the traders who are not happy with the 1 week extension of closure. Because if you can say there are over 7,000 shops and this affected just 50 shops. But the thing is this, it's a central system. So if it's affected one side, it could affect another side. If anything happens today, whatever happened last week will still happen. Okay, so why not allow for time to figure everything out? And then also to the facility managers, because the Ghana Fire Service had indeed confirmed that as at the time of the fire insurance and the safety of the facility had not been renewed. How do we spend $100 and something million on a facility like that?
Can you imagine?
And
not renew a fire.
You are not renewing the fire insurance or whatever. The sprinklers did not work. You know, our maintenance,
it has to be a
maintenance culture for some of these things. The people who run some of these things need to do better.
Much better.
Charlie, you've been entrusted with a facility like this, and the sprinklers don't work.
But you know the other challenge, though. We talk a lot about markets and bus stops and how we should do better for our traders. But I feel sometimes they are not willing to be helped. Because look at the headache Kojo Bonsu went through with some of the projects he did in Ashanti, in Kumasi, trying to even get this project to go through. The simple idea of move from an old place, we're going to reallocate stores. It's fraught with a lot of problems. And I don't know whether people know the effect of this chaos. Like, if you go to a market which has no proper toilets, and you are selling food and you have to do number 2 in a can, no fire hydrants, no proper pathways. It's almost like they feel like the more chaotic the market,
the more vibrant it is.
Yeah, I say
I saw.
No, like we are in 2023. People, now, there are problems. A lot of people of my ilk are not even going to markets because there are these large online shops where people are buying a lot of things. Look, I always say in the 80s when I had to buy a watch, I will go take a car from Firestone to Accra at Tema Station, then we'll walk to Kantamanto to go and look. There was a place in front of UTC or something, and the guys with the watches, and we'll go through one, and then I'll buy one Casio watch, and then walk back to UTC, walk back to whatever. We don't do that anymore. If I want to buy a watch, I'll just go online. So the market people should know that if the market doesn't improve in the look and feel, a lot of the young people don't even want to go there. At least the middle classes. So there has to be some understanding that the marketplace has to be more livable.
Yes.
And on this front, I want to urge the local assemblies to be more visionary. Don't just wait till elections come in. No, do have a proper plan for the people. And the other point is, these people who say they don't want the market to be closed for 1 more week. I mean, seriously.
It's 5 days.
Because we don't review these fires and we don't do anything about it, it keeps happening. So for me, I'm with the authorities on this one.
Yeah, likewise.
Yes, I'm with the authorities on this one. But since we're in Kumasi, Ali, just want to pick your thoughts on two quick things. So guys, the politics for me, the reason I'm raising the politics is this. So they interviewed Napo this morning on Pure FM. And then they asked him about the... Yeah, they asked him about... Napo had said that Bawumia, he hopes Bawumia gets to lead Ghana one day.
Yeah.
So that was being interpreted to mean that he is angling for the running mate position.
Well, quite a few of the papers that covered it say that Bawumia was led there by Napo.
Exactly.
And then Royal.
Yeah, and then he's also energy minister. So they sort of interviewed him this morning and he says he's not gunning for the vice presidency or whatever. I just feel like for some reason, Ashanti region has become very important in a very... It's almost like a
for the MPP,
coincidence for everybody. So in this week, but Mahama is there. He's campaigning there for that, like I think 8 districts or something.
Yes.
Then Bawumia has gone to Akwesidai, and we are told with 80 MPs. Now I look at the people who've thrown their hats in the ring in the MPP race. All bar Bawumia have Ashanti links, from Owusu Efriye to Kwabene Japan to Ebuache Jakun to Alan Chemating to Kofi Konedo Apreku to Adainimo. They all have some, and of course to Dr. Free Akoto, right?
Yes.
They all, and indeed I did ask him, and he didn't shy away from the question. It was like, well, he is from Menchia because his father was the linguist of the Asante Hene and on and on and on and on. And then of course, in the NDC race, Dr. Comrade Dufo is from Ashanti region. Kojo Bonsu is from Ashanti region. So am I making, am I just doing like, is it a coincidence or is there a sense in the political parties that Ashanti region will be key in this election?
Ashanti holds a strong weight, depending, because the NDC wants, for the NDC to succeed in the national election, they need a certain chunk of Ashanti swinging their way. Now, they've not done too well there, so you can understand what it is they want to do. They know that capturing the entire region is nigh on impossible. So it is that chunk they are looking for. That's what they are.
Now, why do you think so many of the MPP candidates are from that region? Is it because
I think because
in MPP it's almost like, is it that Achim or
yes,
Ashanti or something?
So you've
like
had the president run his course. So the thinking is that once that part ends, it almost kind of opens the door to this other people or this other group to say, let's also throw our hat in and see if we can get a flag bearer from this side and see what will happen. So I think that's why it's important. Let's not forget, geographically the region is probably the largest.
It is the largest
in terms of constituency
although
size.
Population-wise, for the first time, 2020, Greater Accra overtook Ashanti,
yes, exactly.
But they still have more constituencies.
They still have, then you look at constituency, they've got a large number 43. And 43 in an election is a lot. 43 is almost 1/5 of the entire parliament.
Are you linking this also to a few months back, October, September, there was this whole thing about Ashanti MPs not being happy, and then there were those who said they wanted Kenyatta to be removed.
If you look at
so there's this sort of silent disaffection within the MPP over whether they are getting their due or whatever.
And it's grounded on the numbers. It's grounded on how much they bring to the table in terms of an election. So if Ashanti MPs are unhappy,
I see.
And they are saying they want Ken out, that kind of thing. Yeah. If to a party like the MPP, this is big news. If Ashanti MPs are unhappy,
some of them,
or some Ashanti MPs are unhappy, and MPs amounting to almost 100 across different regions say they are unhappy, that's a lot.
So why is MPP? I don't want to call it MPP friendly media, but I guess that's what it seems. They seem to be highlighting the 80 MPs who accompanied. Because ordinarily you would say Bawumia graces Akwesidai, meet Otumfo. But he's dressed in Ashanti Kente, he's dressed like an Ashanti man. And most of the papers are emphasizing the 80.
Yes, it says over 80 lawmakers, government appointees, and some key stakeholders who matter.
What are they trying to do
within
there?
the NPP? Well, I look at this. Let me add a bit to what Nathan said. The dynamics are a bit different for both parties. He's absolutely spot on with NDC looking at it from the perspective of we need numbers there. We need to do well there if we are to stand a chance in the next election. For the MPP, though, there are a couple of things happening. For some time now, we do know that there has been that internal wrangle between the Achim and the Asante. And there has been mention of the fact that with the ending of President Nana Akufo-Addo's tenure, it might be time to lead the party back to where it has always traditionally been strongest, which is the Asante side. And there has always also been mention of the fact that, which is why you have the strong. There's basically also been it's an Asante time. So you mentioned all these candidates and all these names.
All of them.
They feel that
have some link.
It's time to put our person at the front because we have the numbers. It's born out of the numbers. So then you also have a Dr. Baumia who needs to convince them that he is the right man to do the job. So he's going to KJT today, actually.
And he last 2 weeks, he sponsored the reconstruction
of the Central Mosque, which is very key. It's a very it was an emotional pull.
And the other point about even Ashanti is also the Zongo votes within Ashanti.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of things are happening. And then
the dynamics
Muntaka is also having issues in his own constituency.
So the dynamics there are interesting, and we'll be following it.
We have to set up a camp
because that's where the party is.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's serious. There's a lot of
the party is.
Different things happening in Ashanti, and even with the primaries, particularly for the MPP, I'm seeing a lot of new, fresh faces wanting to take on some of the old seats. And some this year they said they will not.
Don't back down.
There's always been this thing like people want to contest some of the big shots and say no. It's like this year, dear, we are going.
We are coming.
And then the other thing we need to not forget is you said this last week. We don't know the strength of the party headquarters. I'll explain this. So if party is strong, they are able to impose discipline and also manage the aspiration processes better. Where they say, Charlie, look, if you don't meet the criteria, you're not running. Or we have made a decision that this person will go. Even though it's not necessarily democratic, sometimes they find ways of dealing with that. And then also in the background, they convince the aggrieved. So for me, a strong party is not just a party that can build those situations, because that can lead to disaffection. But what is good is if they're able to bring the disaffected into the campaign to say, look,
so that they don't bend bridges.
They'll say to Mr. John Daku, you want to go for Swami? We know you've been working this for the past 12 years, but your disqualification, don't worry. You support this year, and we'll see what happens next 4 years. And then they'll get important people to speak to you and tell you that, bro, you are a young man, take it easy. Those things they do. It happens in NDC too. Right now, one of the things I'm seeing is that a lot of the young people will say this year they will not listen.
No.
And probably the only thing they won't go is to go to court, but they will use all means available.
And you think that
it will? You see, this is the thing. There's a very close parliamentary race, so the political parties are caught in a very difficult situation. Whether to use people. So let's give you an example. If there's a young person that people are clamoring for in a constituency, who may not necessarily have all the credentials the party wants. The party will be forced to agree for that person to stand, because if they impose a candidate on the party,
they stand the risk.
They will lose.
Yes.
Because the person can either go independent or the person's lack of support will cause disaffection. And I think this is much bigger for the MPP than even the NDC, where a lot of people and I'm talking about Shanti now, a lot of young guys like Charlie, this year we want to go.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a real test for Justin Kodria and Stephen Intim.
If you listen to all the big names who have mentioned either wanted to contest for some major seat or the flag bearership of the party, Baba Omia, all of them have mentioned one thing: party discipline. All of them say party discipline is weak.
Yeah.
Alan has said it. Just on Friday, your man, Dr. Akuto,
yes,
have heard him on 2 different platforms. He's mentioned
same party discipline.
Party discipline. Kabla has mentioned party discipline. At the anymore, I heard him on another radio station has spoken about party discipline. all of them talk about the weakness of the party. And I spoke to you about the looming leadership vacuum that is emerging. It's not that, but I don't mean that they don't have human beings there. There are human beings who occupy the positions, but the clout they wield within the party is not what it should be. And so a lot of people see opportunities now to take action in certain ways. And it's something they need to handle in a very smart manner over the next few months, or they will have issues.
But it's interesting that you've mentioned this because now it would mean that, somebody like Justin Kodua and his team, that is the biggest job on their hands. How to keep a party together ahead of a major election, how to satisfy everybody and still be in a position where you can.
And the funny thing, when I interviewed Dr. Free, his point was that he doesn't understand why people are being allowed to campaign when the campaign has not started. His point is that he respects the party and therefore he's going to wait till official, but he's sort of doing posters and things. But his point is like they've allowed people to just do whatever they want. And if this is happening at the presidential level, imagine the parliamentary level. Okay, if the presidential level is this chaotic, the other point is that even within the NDC, this weekend there was a lot of incumbent filing. So they've sort of divided their own into those who are like going for re-election and then they'll go for orphans. So they sort of structured it. And even within that, we are hearing a lot of like some people are like, we want to file. The consensus people say they are not opening, but yet the MP is filing. All of these things. So I think the 2024 election, parliamentary wise, will be probably more interesting than even presidential because of what we are seeing in parliament. It appears the presidential may be more straightforward for whoever wins, but of course, very rarely it is. But I when I look at the parliamentary race and what has happened in the past 4 years, and I also see new faces even in the main parties showing face. I mean, you have executives of GMA, you have medical directors of regions,
all these people
going into politics. And one day we'll discuss whether that's good for our politics or bad.
It's a big conversation you must have about whether it's good for our politics or not. So, because, Charlie...
Yeah, but if you don't have enough if you don't have enough outsiders coming in, how are you going to change it? Because we as we sit here, we're not happy with the way our parliament is. So, to have people who are just party people,
most of these people are not party.
No, you don't get it. But you see, party people, as in like you can be a party person, but with some credentials you are bringing. I always say that when it comes to parliament, like a legislative assembly, you need to bring different skill sets. So our parliament has been dominated by teachers, lawyers, and a lot of these teachers are people who started like doing politics on the grassroots. So he joins the cadres. He's been in NDC since 1985. So you need people with different nuance. So you need a doctor, you need a nurse, you need a teacher, you need a farmer. You need all these business guys to come together. At least the groupthink will reduce. So I feel it's a good thing to have all these different characters showing interest. All right, I don't know,
but ultimately, government, you don't trust. Why? Because you think that ultimately you ultimately succumb to the will of the party, so the groupthink element is not reduced.
Yes.
But isn't it better to have somebody who has a track record in something other than politics?
I mean, that is true. But,
right? But so compare somebody who joined politics from, and I know there's a place for career politics, but if you give me somebody who's done maybe SRC, JCR, NUCS, and then he then goes 3 years as a communicator, and then he runs for MP, versus somebody who's been
politics all through.
Yeah, compare that to somebody who's done like 7 years medical school, housemanship, 8 years as a doctor, risen to Ghana Medical Association, general secretary. I prefer such a person because he will bring some nuance. He will bring some. If you work as a doctor in Ghana for 6 years, posted to 6 some, but if you just go from NUCS to party spokesperson to MP, what is your experience?
No, I understand the filling of that gap that you talk about and the nuance that happens, and maybe once we do this for two more election cycles and those gaps are filled, we'll start seeing how it reflects on governance in this country. So I will perhaps I will hold my doubt for now on that, but it's just that I am not very trusting of the current political
arrangement.
No, the groupings. You
talk about nuance, and I think a good example is when you listen to MP Peter Tobu, for example. If he's not commenting on political matters, look at the depth of knowledge he has on, say, policing, because he was once a police officer. When you listen to his thoughts on some of the things in the service and all. So I kind of understand when you make the point that you need people from a different background, because on a matter that is not political, you are sure to get a more nuanced perspective, and a perspective that's coming from a different place and that kind of
thing. The problem, Nathan, which I feel like Godfred is not trying to say, is the money issue. So that, you see, because of the cost of running campaigns, even if you are a clean guy from wherever,
the money factor rules.
When you are confronted with the need for money to deal with delegates and things, you soon be compromised. So we cannot deal with the quality of our politics question without dealing with the financing question. But that's not the point for today. Time check is 5 minutes to 9. Citi Breakfast Show. I don't want to do the final Kumasi thing. So there's KGTR, there's politics, and there's also Chris Hughting.
Yeah.
Right? I'll let you deal with that shortly. Nathan will be on TV. Nathan will be on TV later this morning, where we'll be covering live the Chris Hughting unveiling. And we will talk about Chris Hughting shortly. But I have a good piece of news for those of you who want to visit the Western region. Stay for 2 nights and get the third night for free in a standard room, $454 or 4,995 cedis for 2 persons at Maha Beach Resort. Now, this package includes dinner on arrival, breakfast, lunch, and dinner on second day, and breakfast on the last day before departure. There's also free airport pickup from Friday to Sunday. Terms and conditions apply. Now, there's also complimentary early check-in and late check-in till 1 p.m. subject to availability and other amazing offers. Now, you can also upgrade your room and get other services available on request. The rate is payable in equivalent of Ghana cedis at the prevailing exchange rate at the hotel. Now, call Maha Resort on 0303 977 773. That's 0303 977 703. Offer is available from now till 10th April. Email sm@maharesort.com. Terms and conditions apply. Talking about travel, join Copan's fun-packed adventure package to Dubai this Easter from the 9th to the 7th of April for only $1,340 USD. We also have our Europe tour package to Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, France, and Switzerland between the 7th and the 18th of August for only €3,500. This includes visa assistance, hotel accommodation, tours, ticket, airport transfers, and more. In addition, you get a free Copan travel card, which is the first travel loyalty card in Ghana. Call 055-6965-924 or 02623498886. Copan Hospitality Tourism at its best. And if you're a business leader, entrepreneur, executive director, manager, or marketing, sales, operations, HR director without a formal financial background, or you're currently facing greater financial and business responsibilities, we invite you to book for Benchmarks Finance and Accounting for non-executive executives workshop. This is very important. So you may be in a big position and you're not really sure of the finance. This workshop will help you come to speed with the main issues. So for example, how do you create an income statement? How do you analyze an income statement? What is the balance sheet? What's the difference between a profit and loss and a cash flow statement? Now, these are they seem like normal things, but if you don't know how to do it, Charlie, you're on a board and they're talking about P&L and then they say balance sheet, the income statement,
and it's all over, it's flying over your head.
It Benchmarks program within a week will give you some key insights. So now, this program will help you enhance your financial acumen, help you confidently make everyday decisions that create value in your organization, and help you effectively communicate with financial executives. So it's almost like a compressed MBA. And this program is from Monday the 27th to Wednesday the 29th of March. That's a weekday program. There's also a weekend program for Saturday 25th March, which is next week. Save your seat now. Now, how do you register? Call 0277 511 315. The number again, 0277 511 315. You can send them a text message or 0249 944 442.
Now give your eyes the best attention and care they deserve. Don't play with your eyes. Visit Roberts and Sons Optical at Adenta, Weja, Dabraka, Osudankwa Circle, Tema, East Legon, Kumasi, and their new ultramodern Kofredia branch for comprehensive eye care and 100% original and unbeatable products for children and adults. Also visit us for the state-of-the-art optical coherence tomography testing service or the retina damage detection scan. Call Roberts and Sons on 050-151-9111 or 020-372-8545 for more info. Visit their online shop, robertsandsonsoptical.com, on Facebook and on Instagram and Twitter, Roberts and Sons Ltd. Roberts and Sons, seeing is believing. Visit Roberts and Sons Optical. Now, according to the World Bank, Ghana is faced with 12% youth unemployment and more than 50% underemployment. In addition, observers generally agree that Ghana's youth are ill prepared for the world of work, and only 38 out of 100 school children transition to the next level of the academic calendar. Will you sit unconcerned or contribute to solve the problem? Your donation of only 1 Ghana cedi a day will support Lead Africa International. Train undeserved school children for free. Donate to 0549 274 728 or 0549 274 728 on Chango at Lead Africa International. Together we can change the future of Ghana, one student at a time.
Let's go to the story we started with. Cocoa Board intercepts 1,500 bags of cocoa being smuggled. This is very serious, and we have on the line Fifi Boafo to give us more insights into this. The Finder is reporting that Cocoa Board's anti-smuggling task force, in collaboration with the security agencies, had within just 2 weeks, retrieved over 1,500 bags of cocoa. Now, if 1 bag of cocoa is 800 cedis and you are smuggling 1,500 in 2 weeks, imagine how much you will lose in 3 months. That's a lot of money. Now, Fifi Baf will give us more insights into this and why it's happening, what can be done to stop it. Fifi, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Ben, how are you?
Well, I'm very well, but I'm worried about this story because it seems as if what is reported is probably just the tip of the iceberg. How serious is this smuggling issue?
It's serious. Beginning of the year, of course, we were all concerned about the possibility of smuggling, but we did not anticipate that will reach a point where it's almost everywhere. Over the years, because we've had better pricing compared to our neighboring countries, so it was not really an issue the past 3, 4, 5 years. But this year, there was a bit of worry that there may be some possibility. But so in North region, it's quite a common thing because there are some people who cross the border from Ghana to Togo and then they sell the cocoa there. And then also along the Seshi and Lugo areas, you also have reported cases. But we've realized that it has gone beyond the border towns, where now you have people even in Accra, they package it together and try to smuggle it out. But the challenge now is that you have even foreigners who are now involved in this business. So they come, they get the cocoa, and then they package it into different sacks, which ordinarily you would not assume that the content of it is cocoa, and then they get it out of town to our neighboring countries. So that's the challenge we are facing now. Of course, just like the story that has been reported by the Finder says, we've been able to make arrests just in March about 1,500 bags, which is about 93, 94 metric tons. And that's about over $200,000 worth of cocoa. So it's a challenge. And
we understand that the level of smuggling is so serious that some districts, particularly in the Western North region, are not reporting any proper returns, purchases, so that people are paying the farmers, but they are not sending the cocoa to the right place. They will give the farmer the 800 cedis per bag, and then they'll go and sell it in Cote d'Ivoire because of the exchange rate. We are told that one of the reasons why this is thriving is the relative strength of the CFA. Is this something you are aware of?
Yes, we are very much aware of it because just as I indicated in my earlier submission, the past 5-6 years, Ghana has had way better price than these neighboring countries. But the CFA strength this year has given these smugglers a window which they are cashing in, because yes, they will buy it 800 cedis from the farmer, so the farmer is not getting anything extra, and then they take it across the borders. There are some of the farmers who even complain, because initially our thinking was that there were some farmers who were involved. So we made them understand that Cocoa Board has contributed a lot in producing this cocoa. So if the decision is that you take it across the border, then there will not be any revenue for Cocoa Board to finance the rehabilitation program ongoing, give you fertilizers, give you the various inputs we give to the farmers. And they said that, no, we are not involved. So they actually complain when they see some of these things happening. So that's why we are able to get, together with the security agencies, arrest some of these people. So yes, we are aware that that is what is happening. Unfortunately, some of them are able to get away with it, and then they get it across the border.
So how is this going to affect your output? Because I know in 2020-21, your output crossed 1 million tons. I'm told it was over 1,047 million. But last year, it came down to 600 and something. With the trend we're seeing, it will mean that the recorded numbers for cocoa production in Ghana, adding Galamsey, is going to be much, much worse than even the 2022 figure, right?
Yes. Well, not the 2022 figure. In fact, this year, even though Galamsey has taken off part of the cocoa lands, but realizing how we did last year, there were a lot of interventions that were put in to ensure that we are able to increase our numbers and push it up. But unfortunately, with this happening, it doesn't look too good. In fact, the numbers, if you compare, so we have a research team that will, beginning of the year, do a research to give us indication of our possible projection figures for the year. And then they look at the figures as the weeks progress. So the figures we're looking at beginning of the season and what we are looking at now, it looks like quite a sizable amount of cocoa will be lost to this smuggling activity.
So what, apart from this, your activity that you are doing with the special task force, is there anything else that can be done? I mean, special border patrols, any delegation to Côte d'Ivoire? I mean, because this is quite a serious situation. So apart from what you're doing with the smuggling task force, is Cocoa Board minded to do any other thing to stop this?
Indeed, the Ivorians, when it started, drew our attention to it, that they've realized that there are some people who are taking this cocoa from Ghana to Côte d'Ivoire. So yes, we are collaborating with them. Apart from that, we do not have that strong relationship with Togo. So that relationship doesn't help much. But then because of the relationship we have with Côte d'Ivoire, we are counting on it, even though it does not yield the result we are looking for. One of the things we're also doing now, at least to ensure that the people who, when they see these things, will report to us, is that, so for example, if you see someone who has loaded a truckload or has cocoa moving from Ghana to Côte d'Ivoire, the cocoa, the value of that cocoa to test is given to the person who reports and the security agencies who arrest them. So as it has incentivized people, and now they are willing and ready immediately to come out and give us information that we've seen this person who is involved in this business, and then the security agencies will quickly move in to arrest them.
Thank you for talking to us, Fifi Boafo, who's the head of communications at the Ghana Cocoa Board. Serious situation, he concedes, and economic underpinnings, he concedes as well. And of course, the effects on cocoa production, all in there. And as we say, all our programs are linked. Galamsey, corruption, insecurity. What else have I not said? All of them are connected in this cocoa story. And the problem is that most of the things that we depend on for money, cocoa, gold, timber, they are all under attack from the same quarters. Yes. So our security people have their work cut out. 0549986996. We'll take some quick comments from you. Before we do that, ECG says they will finish people. They said they would deal with those who are not paying. So ECG is embarking on what is called a nationwide revenue mobilization exercise.
Yeah, Jessica.
Charlie, starting to review the motto. Yeah, Jessica. From today, the 20th of March to 20th of April, this massive revenue mobilization exercise will focus on all categories of customers in all areas, including SOEs, and will be monitored by special teams who will apprehend and prosecute customers who attempt to interfere with the exercise. Pursuant to this exercise, the head office, regional and district office of ECG will be temporarily closed during the revenue mobilization period, except for customer service centers to enable total participation. So ECG is closing shop to collect money. Charlie, this is serious. So please, if you owe, go and pay. Particularly those who are postpaid. So management is notifying the general public that recalcitrant customers who have refused to redeem their indebtedness to the company after they have been served with final demand notice will be arraigned before courts of law. And management is advising all customers in arrears to pay their bills now to avoid disconnection and payment of reconnection fees. Standard Water has over 25 years of experience in providing quality water to quench your thirst. This refreshing water brand is available in all 11 regions of Ghana, and we are still expanding to cover the rest of the country. Standard Water gives the following: sachet, bottled, dispenser, mounted jar, and we also do customized water for your parties and other special occasions. Now, it's available for purchase from supermarkets, from retail shops and sales delivery trucks. For bulk purchase and for distribution, call 0202 055703 or 054 733 4385. This advert is FDA approved.
Now, Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium is saying that in the last 21 years, they've been doing this well. They are giving you great private end-to-end funeral services in Ghana. Call them on 0509 542 409 or send an email info@lashibifuneralhomes.com to get all the info you need. You can also visit their website lashibifuneralhomes.com for more info. Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium, dignity for the deceased, comfort for the bereaved. Vodafone Business presents Too Much Business, the #1 mobile plan for businesses in Ghana today. With Vodafone Too Much Business, you have the best mobile plan on the market that gives your business the best value. That means you have the flexibility to choose voice, data, and SMS packages that suit your business's size and ambitions. Get more minutes for Vodafone to Vodafone calls to other networks, data, and SMS in one complete mobile package. Experience free calls among your employees and roll over unused data. Send start to 0507 779 000 or email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com to sign up now. Vodafone, further together. Now imagine you had the power to impact the world around you. At the British Council, they see students from all over the world with dreams of a bright future coming together for a quality education that achieves goals. Those who study abroad in countries like the UK are getting much more than just a degree. They are getting a world of valuable experiences. Visit the British Council website to find out how you can own your future.
Here are some quick comments on the discussion so far. Good morning, Bernard. I want to add this to your discussion. We have introduced to the market women an automatic fire suppression system, which automatically puts off fire even when your extinguisher or sprinklers fail. Yet they did not patronize. We like to leave destiny to fate. We like to leave our destiny to fate instead of doing what is common sense.
Was this offered by the market?
It says, this person says it's called the GF's Guardian Shield, but the market women didn't patronize. I think it's like a product they were selling to them, that if it's a system where if your extinguisher or sprinkler doesn't work,
you can use it.
It's a fire suppression system. They didn't buy it.
But you must hope that your sprinkler should work.
But I don't know.
Anyway, sprinkler must work.
Nee from Amanfro says, I think it's very wrong for mining companies to be mining authorities to be sitting in Accra and be giving lands without ensuring employment in these mining companies for the locals. Okay, Emmanuel in Tessano, he says, till this day, why is Cocoa Board not headed by a cocoa farmer? Anyone who has a cocoa farm. This will also help the situation, as the decisions that affect them will be taken by them.
That's an interesting perspective.
It's a pricing issue.
Yeah.
Smuggling, so whether it's alcohol smuggling, whether it's weed,
pricing.
When it comes to when you see, follow the money. We were told many years ago. Once people can make a good return by smuggling, they will smuggle.
Yes.
So that's the point.
Smuggling starts all that time.
Yeah. Atu says, in modern day design, you don't need people to call fire tenders or fire service. There should be an embedded fire trigger system that goes straight to the fire service observatory at the station. Not to talk about the sprinkler systems that need to have been installed.
Here's one on the cocoa which agrees with what we're just saying. It says you can't solve smuggling with tax forces. It's a problem of pricing. If we give our farmers a better price than what is paid in neighboring countries, you have reverse smuggling. We should at least match what's paid across the boundary and stop wasting time with law and other measures. The task forces will become facilitators and enrich themselves. That's
which is what they are doing.
Which is what happens even in Galamsey.
Yes, which is what they are doing now.
Yeah, I think this person is making a very solid point on the need. But you see, this thing, 800 cedis, they may be paid 800 cedis equivalent in Cote d'Ivoire, but because of the exchange rate,
it means that 1,000 cedis.
Oh, Charlie, somebody says we should ask Okobod why the head of security is a lawyer. Why can't the head of security be a lawyer? Maybe he went to school and added to himself.
Maybe he thinks head of security is like Buga security man. That's what the person thinks.
Yeah, but Kokobod's head of security should not be.
No. That's what I'm saying. So this texter may be mistaken. We'll come back with
a very sophisticated outfit.
We'll come back with a couple of quick things. We have the Heritage Month still on. At 9:30, we bring you the second in a series on forts and castles with Kwekuda Kankra. Before that, we'll talk a bit about Black Stars, football, Chris Hughton, and all those things with our man Pichichi is in Kumasi. I'm here with the two sports guys as well. So Chris Hughton is being unveiled today in Kumasi. Nathan will be on television leading a discussion on that. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you tired of feeling left behind when it comes to your finances? Have no worries. Citi is here. We provide credit solutions for both business owners and salary workers. We offer loans within 24 hours at the lowest rates. Visit our website www.citispay.com.gh and choose what is right for you. Call us on 0595 738121. Citi, we leave no one behind.
Ajua, Grandma looked very peaceful. I was completely amazed when I saw her neatly presented. She looked just like she was sleeping.
You haven't seen anything yet, my brother. You should have seen the care and quality treatment they gave her at transitions. One man, one room, just like a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
And not only that, we had a dedicated person to guide the family through the funeral planning process.
Are you sure?
Of course. From picking her up to when we lowered Grandma down, everything was completely stress-free. They had all the needed funeral services, caskets, hearse, chapel, and so much more.
This one, dear, no family fights after all.
I'm so happy we made a right decision to use Transitions.
With Transitions, your loved one gets the best of care while the family enjoys a stress-free funeral planning process. Call us now on 0302-634-706. And no, did I tell you they're affordable? Transitions, the funeral people.
Vodafone Business introduces 2 much business packages for businesses and SMEs. Yes, it be too much value. It be too much flexibility. It be too much everything so on Vodafone 2 much business. And the best part is you can now take your business up another level. Wow. Choose the voice, data and SMS package that suits your business size and ambitions with Vodafone 2 much business. That means more data for your business with the ability to roll over unused data, more SMS, more minutes for Vodafone to Vodafone calls, and Vodafone to other networks, plus free calls amongst your employees, all in one mobile package. There is too much value you get on the best mobile plan in Ghana today. To sign up, SMS start to 050-777-9000 or email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com.
Vodafone, further together.
Push! Congratulations, a bouncy baby. It's time to feed your baby.
Yes, I want to thank you for your advice to go for the COVID-19 vaccination during my pregnancy. I was worried, but the way you assured me helped me a lot. I had my peace of mind from the fear of getting seriously sick with COVID-19 and also carried my pregnancy to full term without any complications. Now I have a bouncy baby.
I'm glad you took our advice. You see, every pregnant woman needs to know that the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for her and her unborn baby.
You are right, Auntie Ness.
There are people going around spreading rumors.
Yes, so all kinds of wild rumors and misinformation. Look, I got pregnant after my first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Went for my second dose while pregnant. Yet, I carried it full term and just delivered a healthy baby. I will go for the booster on my first postnatal visit.
You were right not to listen to them. The vaccine protected you and your baby from severe COVID-19 illness and hospitalization and can protect all pregnant women and their unborn babies. Hey, please, attend to your precious baby.
My beloved baby.
The COVID-19 vaccine is safe for pregnant women and their unborn babies. Protect yourself, protect your baby, get vaccinated now. This message is from the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service with support from USAID and partners.
At the British Council, we know that our experiences in life are what shape us. The things we see, the places we go, the people we meet all make an impact on the future we create. Change is driven by people with dreams bigger than themselves. The chance to study abroad is the chance to make an impact, not just on your own life, but on the lives of the people you left back home. When you experience the world beyond borders, you can discover what's possible for the future you envision. When you set off to further your education abroad, you can return empowered and ready to put your plan for change in motion. Great experiences await when you study in diverse countries like the UK. You could make an impact on your entire community because you took the chance to own your future. It starts with an IELTS test from the British Council. Visit our website today and discover a world of opportunity.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xBet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Enjoy the best of convenience and security on AT Money. Carry out all your mobile money related transactions on the go. Send or receive cash, pay bills, move cash in and out of your bank account from anywhere at any time. Airtel Tigo Money, your most secured and trusted mobile money service.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
.923 Citi Breakfast Show. For some reason, Kumasi has been in the news over the weekend. As we said, the KGI situation from last week, the Akwesida, and also Chris Huting is being outdoored.
Hey,
why do you keep calling him that?
He's a gunman.
Is that his name?
No, he's a proper gunman.
I see.
Yeah, proper gunman.
Is it his mother or his father who's gone?
His dad.
His dad, Chris Huting. I see. So he's from Accra.
Yes, proper gunman.
A bit like Odenke Abe.
Yeah. He apparently he visits quite regularly.
So I'm told
his heritage.
So let's go to Kumasi. What's Pichichi's real name?
Ofoju.
Charlie, I forget the real
name.
Evans, you have to stop this Pichichi nonsense because I'm sitting here and I want to call your name and I can't remember your name. You know, Charlie, Evans Ofoju Manso. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Very busy week for you. Your coverage of the Achu funeral was quite stellar. And I know you're from the area, so it must have been a bit more touching for you. But summarize for me the feeling, whether Achu got the right send-off. Before we come to Chris Hughton, did you think, based on Friday's activities, Ghana did justice to Christian Achu?
Well, Ben, I can say that the sort of reception at the forecourt of the State House sums up how huge Ghanaians love the player. It was a very, very well-attended funeral, because if you are Christian Achu's family, and I'm sure never in their wildest dream did they expect to see the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, the former president John Dramani Mahama, the vice president Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Black Stars players, well-wishers, sympathizers, all at one place at the same time for their beloved son. So it went beyond their wildest imagination, and I can say that sort of crowds that came to the forecourt of the State House to pay their last respect to the player sums up everything about how Ghanaians feel about him. For me, I think that it was a very befitting funeral, a state-assisted one. It was well-controlled. Security was on point. And looking at how everyone I spoke to at the event spoke highly of the player, you could clearly see that this is one of the biggest ways to send off a national icon. Yes, there were some hitches in terms of some of the media personalities and how they went about some of their questions and all that. But in all, I just felt that Ghana gave Achu a befitting farewell.
So we are unveiling Chris Hughton today, and we have a big game on Thursday. Well, I don't know whether the Achu situation will motivate our boys or whether they are still mourning. I don't know. What's your feeling in terms of first the players and the fact that their colleague fell, he's dead? What kind of mood were they in? And is there a way in which that could galvanize them to want to win something? You know, we've been looking for this AFCON for I don't know how many years, 40 years. Could they say, look, let's do it for Achu this time round? Could that be the rallying cry, you think?
Absolutely. Then if there's one game that the Black Stars must win for the nation, it's this one against Angola on Thursday. It's just not about the AFCON qualifier, though, but it's also a game which could be played in the honor of Christian Achu, because, yes, on the pitch, he was quite a good player for them. Off the pitch, also, his humanitarian works transcend across the borders. And so this is the first game that the Black Stars are playing right after that incident happening to Achu in Turkey. So it's a very motivating task for them to try and win this game, and then try to also dedicate this win for the late Christian Achu. So, yes, they are sad looking at how Achu passed on, but they have a huge chance to try and make amends on the pitch, to try and honor the player as he would have done himself on the pitch. And if there's a way to show that they love Christian Achu, this is the moment for them to try and beat Angola convincingly. They are professionals. I know, yes, they are hurt by the fact that they've lost their brother, but on the pitch is where they do their talking. So many out there, myself, expecting them to turn out to give us 150% performance, to go all out and win this game convincingly, play well for Ghana, and make sure that they dedicate this important win for the late Christian Achu. So for me, I feel that this is the moment for them to try and do this for their late brother.
Let's talk about Chris Hughton. Is there any novelty around this? The guy came in, I think, a few months before the World Cup, and some people thought he was going to be the coach, and then they made him technical director, and now he's the coach. So I have this feeling it's not really that fresh. Do you get me? I don't know what you think from the spot. It seems as if we've already seen the thing before they are coming to unveil him. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Exactly. Well, Ben, when Chris Hughton arrived in March 2022, many thought that he was going to be the next Black Stars coach after Milovan Rajevac. But the GFA had other plans, and they gave the job to Otto Addo, which made Chris Hughton take the role as technical advisor. And I think together they formed a very good team, and they delivered on their mandate to qualify the country by beating Nigeria in that qualifiers in March. Now, Chris Hughton has been around the team. He was reaffirmed as the technical director in May. He was with the team for the World Cup in Qatar. So he's a man who has been around the team, I can say, for almost a year now. So he knows the ins and outs of the team. Yes, this was a job many felt would have been given to him earlier. But looking at the exploit of Otto Addo, when no one expected him to go past Nigeria, he did so. So it was just fair for Otto Addo to just continue what he had started already. And now that Otto Addo has gracefully retired or resigned, I should say, from the Black Stars after the World Cup in Qatar. It was just prudent that the baton passes on to Chris Hughton, who the GFA believes that is a good continuity of what has happened from the World Cup. And he's getting the same backroom staff as Otuado. So he will be assisted by Masoud Ramani and also George Boateng, who were the same assistant coaches for Otuado. Now, one key role that we're missing from his technical team is the technical advisor position, which he was for Otuado. He will not have any technical advisor because he has just moved from that role into the head coach role to take over from Otuado. So he knows the team in and out. He has the experience in terms of what he's done in his coaching career. 20 or 29 or 30 years coaching experience from when he started from the youth system of Tottenham Hotspur. So his last job at Brighton and at Nottingham Forest before he was appointed as the Black Stars head coach. So he has a massive experience in the in UK football, having coached in the Premier League and also the Championship. His major concern now will be taking over the Black Stars as the main man. This is his first national team job on the African continent.
Okay.
So he's not been the face of a team when it comes to African football yet. He may have been behind the scenes and given advice to Otuado, but now he takes over as the main man, and this is his first official job, coaching an African team. And that's where many would like to see how he fares against Angola in his first game. How he starts his tenure is very important for Ghanaians because against Angola, he will be judged based on that performance. Many feel that a good start will indicate that yes, he has really learned on the job after 1 year being the advisor for Otuado. So it's important that he starts very well against Angola on Thursday at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. That's very key for him. Today, he's been unveiled to the media. At the moment, the local media are arriving. It's a very serene place, the Seninshia Golden Mall, SG Mall at Ayija in Kumasi. Very lovely edifice there. I see some of the local media arriving. It's a very quiet place.
I'm sure you've been monitoring Kumasi media this morning. And I'm sure Black Stars Chris Hughton is a big topic of discussion, particularly on radio.
Absolutely. All they did here this morning is talk about Chris Hughton and what he's coming on board with in terms of his coaching credentials and what they're expecting from him as well. At the moment, we are all trooping into here to try and ask him questions as well when the event starts at 10 a.m., we understand. Now, for the Kumasi media, one key thing that they want Chris Hughton to try and do is to build a formidable team, to be a man of his words, to be the man in charge of the Black Stars. There's one thing that has bedeviled the Black Stars technical team all these years. That's interference from the GFA hierarchy, and they saw that they want Coach Chris Hughton to be solid in terms of his call-ups, in terms of his decisions and his tactical abilities. They don't want him to be manipulated as they felt other coaches of the Black Stars were in previous times. So that has been the key discussions here in Kumasi, and the media are just some minutes away from facing the coach for the first time since he was appointed on the 12th of February 2023 to ask him questions. They would love to hear his vision for the Black Stars, what he hopes to leave at the end of his tenure, the legacy, what he has in terms of the latest 25-man score that he called for the game against Angola, what went into that call-up, also his tactical prowess, what is being on board, his transitional plan, how will the players from the Black Meteors, the Black Athletes get a call-up into the main Black Stars under his tenure. And also, it's a massive question that they have for him in terms of what he has on board. And also for the GFA, they are hoping to also get details of the contract. Who is going to pay Chris Hughton? How much is he being paid every month? All these are key questions that we hope to be answered here at the SG Mall in Kumasi.
Thank you, Ivan Ofochu Manso, a.k.a. Pichichi. Thank you, bro. He'll be live on CDTV this morning with Nathan and the crew to do that preview, and also the press conference will be live. But if your health is important to you, visit Vigdang Healthcare, a GHS certified healthcare center which specializes in kidney stones, hypertension, fatty liver treatment, and hepatomegaly. Vigdang Healthcare specializes in using 100% natural medicines in all treatments. And we're on the Spintex Road behind the Standard Chartered Bank. Call us on 054-995-1211. That's 054-995-1211. It's time for the Heritage Month Honors Series, and we're going straight to Kweku Dakwankra. This is part 2. This interview was conducted by Apioko Ashong Abe, talking about forts and castles.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello and welcome to the Heritage On Air series right here on Citi FM and Citi TV. My name is Apioko. Now, this series is sponsored by the National Lottery Authority, the NLA. Now, previously, Kweku Dakwankra and I had a conversation about the Osu Castle, the Christiansborg Castle. In this second part of that conversation, we delve more deeply into what happened after the castle was taken over by the British and how, up until now, modern-day Ghana, the castle has maintained its significance in our history, in our heritage. Kweku, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, the last time in the part one of this conversation, we spoke about when it was built by the Danes in 1652. We looked at between 1652 and 1662 how the Danes had lost it to the Dutch twice, because of all the contestations that were happening on the continent at the time. We looked at the fact that the castle was originally built as a lodge, which had more trade significance and trade use. But subsequently, for some reason or another, we saw it transform into a fort, into a castle, and then, of course, the role of the castle in the slave trade also became something of prominence in our history. So let's take it from where we left off the last time.
So as we said, it was originally built by the Sweden. It was built by Sweden in 1652. And I said by 1655, they lost it to the Danes. The Danes will also lose it to the Dutch in that order. So the Danes then came to appropriate. When the Dutch lost it to them, they had the George Kramer who will design it, and it will become a fortification that will become the Christiansborg Castle, as we know. And as I said, many people, when they are even writing it, the S there
is missing.
It's missing. It's Christiansborg. And this, some of us have time to tell a lot of people in the media that when they are writing, they should know the man they named the place after was Christians,
not Christian.
Yeah, Christians the fifth. So we reached 1877 when the British had taken over, following the Anglo-Danish Treaty of 1850, where they bought all the Danish properties from them.
So this is after almost 200 years when the original lodge was built.
Yeah. So after having the British use it as their power base, their headquarters for almost all their trades. And then when it is from there, they have this idea of ruling, which will come into the agreement they signed with the Gold Coasters to make the Southern Colony, which has started from 1874. And then from there, they proceed to signing different treaties with different Ghanaian ethnic groups, which came to be part. So by 1890s to 1900s, through Osu Castle, they have been able to sign treaties to get major ethnic groups except the Asantes, and then the northern territories, which then became their protectorates, okay, or the hinterland colony, which is the Ashanti territory. So Osu itself, the castle itself, also helped to create a different environment in the Osu community. So what is the Osu community? Originally, they are also Ga people. So the Gas, we have the sub-ethnic groups. We have the Gamashi, we have La, we have the Osu itself, we have Nungwa, Teshi, and Tema. These make up the Ga states. And then within each of the Ga states, they have their quarters. And the Osu Castle played a significant role in the formation of some of these quarters in Osu, which is 4. So the original people who were there, I'm talking about the ruling family and their people, they formed the Kinkawi. That is their quarters.
That's the Osu Kinkawi.
That is the ruling families, the Ahemfu or the chiefs or the Manches. That's where they come from. And then you have the people they brought as who also came from among the Gadambwis from the 1600, who also came to settle on the land. And they moved from 1600 up to the period of 1640s. And these are the Gadambwis that came. They are called the Aneho, the Osu Aneho people. Then the people that the Portuguese and then the Dutch as well as the how do you call it? The Portuguese were early there, but they didn't build any fort. Some of the people they brought from Alada, who came to stay there, were the Osu Alata people.
So Alada, which has become Alata.
Yes, where the who came to stay there were the Osu Alata people. So those were the people that came there from 1640s. Okay, and then the Ashantis, there's also Osu Asantebulu, or the girls will say Asantebulu. So those people, which is making them the fourth quarter, those people were people that came from 1677, when the Akwamus overthrew the Gan power, and then Gan became the vassal state of the Akwamu state. So the first people that were to become there were the Akwamus, and when the Akwamus were defeated and the Asantis took over, the Ashantis also came there, and more of these people that concentrated there became the Asante quarter. In fact, some will also come later in the 1730, during what is called Kotoku Trebu War. The Kotoku Trebu War got its name because during that time of the fight, the governor at the Danish side was called Flint. And Flint is the name of the gun, the one that you put on your chest before you shoot. So the two people call it Treble. So because he was called Flint, they called the Governor Treble. You get that point? And then the called Governor 2 was called Sax, which is a Dutch name. So Sax means Kotoku, as we know. So they call him too Kotoku. So during the war, people, the local call it Kotoku Treble War. But it was Danish Dutch war. And in that war, significantly, which had the one of Aslaman from the Abola Piam, who was among the Fantiabra people, called Abio Trekwanda. It was predicted that when he died, they will have the victory, that will have the victory. And so during that, when he died, in that society, he and his family was even rewarded as the chief fisherman. That is why when you go to Accra, the chief fisherman is Abio Trekwanda. He was leading the war during the Kotoku Trebu War for the people coming from the Dutch Accra against the Danish Accra in that war. So that is what created that beautiful quarters in Osu, and the castle had a role to play within it. Again, because of their strategic positioning, some of the Ghana families were able to also have better education, because over a time, the Danes were bringing a lot of people from the Basel Mission and what have you, who also came to stay within the area. So we have a very important family names like...
So all the Basel schools that we see around those areas.
School like the Salem there, Salem started in 1830s. By 1840s, they had a church, they have schools, it has markets and places of convenience. By 1840s, but at first from the 1830s, it was exclusively for the Africans. And then they are mulatto children. So by 1840, they are opening their doors for the Africans to participate.
Okay, so it was exclusively for the Europeans and their mulatto children. But then 1840s,
they opened the school for the Africans to also participate in their schools. And in the schools, interestingly, they were not even using the Danish language, but English. They were using English as a communication. And then over a time, because of these Danish presence, they also produce business elites who were also Afro-Danish. So you can talk about the Randolphs, you can talk about the locals, you can talk about the Hesses, Engmines, Wolves, and many other of them, the Begarsons. So they also have that Afro-European, just like you go to Cape Coast, and they are still there. And these Afro-Europeans also were able to build European-style buildings, okay, which could be found in the Castle Drive, which is called the Amanfo. That's the old area, the Amanfo. Then you come to Kuku Hills. They are also there. and then getting closer to the then cantonment roads, or what is called the Oxford Street, also emerged. Yes, also emerged. And so those people in the area were people that contributed to the changing nature of Osu because of these rich Afro-Europeans who were also contributing to the trade at the time. In fact, Bannerman will even say that that's why you have the Bannermans. And then the Richter families who are also around there. So you have these people almost being there. You have even the homes are also there. And all these people contributed towards the growth of Osu into a place that will capture in terms of nightlife, in terms of foodways, in terms of anything good you want to have, which has now
the prestige that's associated with it.
Within there too is also the slave markets they created, which they call it the Awusai Acho.
My guest is Kweku Dakoankra, and we're speaking about the Osu Castle, not just the castle itself, but the stories and the history that surrounds it and why it is so significant in our Heritage Month in the first place. So, Kweku, before we went on the break, we were talking about Osu, how the Afro-Europeans, so you mentioned the Bannermans, the Richters, the locals, all these names that we've come to know and appreciate and sort of accept as part of the Ga history, right? The Ga heritage. A lot of these families were now building European-style buildings as well, also contributing to what has become the affluence and the prestige that Osu is now noted for. And before we went on the break, you were talking about the markets. Yeah, so let's go to that.
Yeah, so there was the slave markets that was there, which they call the Awusa Acho. And then the Awusa Acho, you also have these Danish alleys. You see, when you are passing through Osu, yes, you see the alleys. Small. Yes, and then the slaves also planted the tamarind tree, which you can also find there. These are significant landmarks. So when you're talking about the slavery cultural sites, that position Osu within the context of slave sites.
And you especially see the tamarind trees at Kuku Hill. Yeah. And all the from up the hill, the way it descends all the way down. So around where the papaya is all there.
Is yeah. So when you see that, the Cape Coast also used to have some all the way from the castle, all the way to where today Asase FM and Kingsway used to be. So that area getting to what the Oguakoto used to be, that place is called Tamarisase.
Tamarisase.
And when you go to the coast, they say Tamarisase. It's Tamarand. That's why which has been corrupted into Tamarisase. So that's under the tamarind tree. So these are all evidence of the presence of these European powers and then the role of slave trade in these societies. So you see it in Osu. However, while the castle was there and the British were there in 1890, in fact, in 1862 was the first time. In 1862, there was an earthquake, and the earthquake caused a massive havoc to some portions of the castle, and as a result, there was the need to refit the place. So that also brought about a new spaces within the fort. So as you see, there has been a lot of improvement in the Christiansborg Castle. But in 1890, the British relinquished the place. And then by 1900, they relinquished it again. And so this made them use it first as an officer's mess for their soldiers who were there. And then they also later used it into a lunatic asylum. So the casuals you see.
So whom were these mentally challenged people? Were they indigents or they were Europeans?
Yeah, most of them were some of their European officers who have
so maybe those because of the wars
and what have you. And some were also the Africans who were in their European employment. So some of them also find their way there.
Times were hard.
So by 1902...
You couldn't just get up and go back to your country for fresh air and come. You had to live with the Gold Coast soil.
So from 1902, they came back again and then they used it as their seat of governance from 1902 until 1957 when Gold Coast became independent Ghana. And when we became Ghana...
Of course, 1902 is when we became a full-blown colony. After the Asantes had now also been
Asantes were administered separately. It was a Gold Coast colony. But the Asantes have their different
so
laws.
They were protectorates.
Everything. They were there until 1946. The Alambens Constitution.
1846.
No, 1946. Before the Asantes will become part of the Gold Coast in terms of legislative council, Gold Coast Legislative Council. Because prior to that, they were not bringing anybody into the Legislative Council. So Alambans Constitution of 1946 brought the Ashanti in. And then Kuse Constitutional Reform of 1948 also included the Northern Territories. Okay. So the Northern Territories were also joined in 1951.
So they too, until 1951, were also protectorates.
So when they were protectorate, they were being administered separately. So Ashanti was being administered separately from 1901 after the Asantewaa War all the way to 1946 when Alambens Constitution made it possible for them to be part of Gold Coast legislatively. And then the Northern Territories also from 1900 up to 1951 before they also became involved. Okay. By that time, even the voter from the Anglos were already part of Gold Coast legislatively. So from 1900 to 1918, 1920, you could see Tobe Adelaja being a member of Gold Coast Legislative Council and so on. So that was what it was then. So when we got the independence in 1957, Nkrumah went there and also used the place as his office.
As a statement, yes, that's then, we too.
And then Christopher Castle was changed into Government House. Yeah. So that place became a Government House while he built the Flagstaff House as his office, where he counts. But the Government House itself was Osu. So over the year, Pediasin Lodge was also built as a retreat where the president can go
for cabinet meetings and then also for his personal.
But the activities itself was happening at Osu, which was the Government House.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 030-2789-757.
Fly Emirates first and business class and look forward to a journey that's as incredible as your destination. Start your holiday with delicious fine dining, impeccable service, and comfort that's out of this world. Sip drinks in our A380 onboard lounge on flights from Dubai and beyond. Watch a movie and drift into a restful sleep in flatbed seats. Treat yourself to Emirates first and business class. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Enjoy the best of convenience and security on AT Money. Carry out all your mobile money related transactions on the go. Send or receive cash, pay bills, move cash in and out of your bank account from anywhere at any time. Airtel Tigo Money, your most secured and trusted mobile money service.
Hey, nowadays, germs are in the air. Aren't you concerned?
Concerned about what?
About the children, of course. In times like this, they sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that.
This is why we need to give our children and ourselves a fighting chance with the maximum protection of Dettol soap. Dettol soap not only refreshes you, but it can be used for bathing and washing hands. So keep calm, Get Dettol soap.
Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol is endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
This advert is FDA approved.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
Hisense is best known for all your electronic appliance needs, such as television, refrigerator, chest freezer, and air conditioners. But did you know we have laser television, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphones, sound systems, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, air fryer, just to mention a few. Hisense is the only electronic company in Ghana that gives you 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Visit any of our showrooms in Accra, also in Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuasi, Sunyani, Techima, Tamale, Hohoi, Kofodia to purchase any Hisense product at the best price. Hisense means best quality, best durability, best for energy efficiency, best for affordability, best for style, and best for technology. You can always get in touch on 0302 55 0000 or go to www.hisense.com.gh. We are also available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Hisense Ghana. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
So until 2008. It was so until 2008 when President Kufuor built the Asasegwa-shaped, the chief steel-shaped, which was built by the Indians and named as a Jubilee House.
So, of course, that was to commemorate Ghana's 50th independence anniversary in 2007, but it was started to be put into use in 2008.
Yes, when Kufuor was virtually getting out of power. However, when Mills won from 2009 going, he refused to use the Jubilee House. So Mills operated from the Osu Castle again. So it was still taking back his historic role as a seat of government. And then when Mahama came, Mahama refused to, go to the castle, and then he came to the Jubilee House, and it has been sold.
And of course, Mills is laid to rest at the Asumdre Park, which
is also close to the Osu there.
Castle.
So that is how the Osu, as a castle, had played a significant role in terms of when we talk about the sites, historic sites. One, it is a cultural heritage site. Secondly, it is also a slavery site. And thirdly, it is also a dark tourism site. When we talk about the atrocities and things that went on, particularly with the example of the Awusa Achu market there, it shows you an aspect of the dark tourism site. So Osu has this tripartite site role within the study of sites in Ghanaian context. So that's how it's supposed to be. Again, Osu could also be seen in terms of gentrification, how it leads to burdens and the elite contestation for land as a place to stay. So it became a place where the creme de la creme of the society would want to live. And then it has all if you study the history about nightlife in Accra, Osu had a lot of nightlife that by even 1930s going, there were women club, men's club all over. We can have the Freemasons, various secret societies, all of them in the Osu enclave.
And then you can talk about Faisal Helwani and his club and all those things later on.
Very good.
In the history.
So the presence of these elites also attracted the immigrant elites who have also come to the area, because elite move with elite. So wherever they see themselves,
monkeys play by sizes.
Yes, absolutely. So they also went there. And the place, the most significant aspect is the way the place over the years also was able to shape in terms of food culture, nightlife, and so on, particularly the cantonment streets, which has now become the Oxford streets. And everything you want to have in terms of food, in terms of enjoyment, everything is available there. It goes back to the way the Danes crafted the area, which became a crucible of trade.
And of course, all that was built around the edifice that is now the Osu Castle. But at some point, maybe not this year, but we'll have to talk about Osu itself and the gentrification of Osu, as you've mentioned, and how even when you walk on the Oxford Street, you see all these beautiful things. But behind those shops and those nightclubs, there's a lot of poverty.
Yeah, so you see, what it is that people live on their land. Some are being, every day they are facing rich men coming to buy them out. That is what's happening when there's gentrification or the contestation for land. But some people too, as Africans, the reason why some are not even moving at all, as you are saying, is that some have buried their dead. Yeah. And when you have buried their dead, they will not just move away like that. It's ancestral land. It's an ancestral land.
City News.